Thank you so much for joining us for the first ever Hull Yeah Hangout. Woo! Yay! Woo! I didn't expect to be doing that on my own, to be perfectly honest. Dan.
I mean, we're basically winging everything, so I didn't realise you was doing it until after you'd started.
We'll get better. We'll get better.
God, I just listened to this Hull Yeah podcast. It was terrible. I feel like my ears are gonna bleed. What'd you say? This is Darby Allen, and you're listening to Give Me a Hull Yeah podcast.
Hello and a very warm welcome to the Give Me a Hull Yeah Wrestling Podcast, the Hull Yeah Hangout, the debut episode. Dan, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. I've got a bit of a cold, but I'm powering through just because I want to spend the time with you guys in the chat.
Absolutely. We said we're going to do this
obviously.
review. And you, Dan. I can't wait. I'm so pleased that this very first one is just me and you. We get to hang out together.
We get to just have a bit of fun. That's the whole point of that's the absolute whole point. Just having a bit of fun, a bit of a giggle.
Absolutely. The thing is, guys, right? We do these live streams and we're watching wrestling, and you guys have so much to talk about, and we have so much to talk about, and there's bigger subjects that we want to rant about. And we just don't get time to do them because we're covering a show at the same time. So the idea of this show is to have a bit of that, to have a bit of fun, to have a bit of trivia, to have some nipple games, for you guys to get involved, as well as ask your own questions in chat. So Dan, tell people about the questions that they can put in our poll-esque type thing.
Whatever you want. It doesn't really have to be wrestling related. It could be, you might want to know our favourite foods. You know I'm a snack monster, so it might be favourite foods, favourite snacks. It could be, what did you think of the new Barbie Oppenheimer movies? Whatever you like.
I went to Barbie this week. I'm going to tell you,
like the type to go.
Oh, mate, I've just got a real nice new Ghost shirt as well. That's like pink. And I didn't have it in time for the movie. I did wear my pink Black Sabbath shirt, obviously. But, no, I wanted my pink Ghost shirt, man. I wanted my pink Ghost shirt. Thank you all so much for joining us. We've already got 12 people in. I'm just going to give a quick rundown, and then we'll go through your comments. We'll say hello. This is a chance for us to all have a conversation, to ask the questions you want to ask. Dan has put the question poll at the end of the episode. We're going to dig into that folder, check everything that's in there, and be able to sort of bring up your questions. It's your place, guys. So in terms of what we're looking at doing, we've got some trivia set up. We'll see how that goes. We've been trying to sort out all the tech. We're going to have nipples games. I want to talk about the AEW women's division. It's rant time, baby. We're going to talk about SummerSlam and Dan's opinions on that, and let's see if he can match up what Dave Meltzer got for his star ratings. Let's see if we can guess what he put. We're going to talk about Bray Wyatt's return. We're going to do some more trivia. We're talking about the Usos and Roman Reigns. Where to from here? I'm thinking of doing an AEW Elite crate opening as well, and then we're going to have questions. We're going to have questions from you guys that you put in there, and our members are also going to have the opportunity, if they want to join us on stream for video questions, for member questions, and we can talk about them on stream and give the members something back. That's jam-packed, Dan.
Oh yeah. We're going to go for it. If it's going to be the first episode, we're going to go all out if we can, and then fine-tune it after that.
Absolutely.
See what works, see what doesn't work, see what sticks.
Throw it all at a wall, Dan.
Yeah.
See what sticks, baby.
Exactly.
We do have 13 people. Just a reminder, it really helps us out. If you like the video, let's go through some comments. Hey, Dan, welcome to the Hull Yeah Hangout. Thank you for joining us. Patreon and Super Chat are now open for donations. Donations are appreciated, but optional, absolutely optional. We do have membership for every budget with special emojis and perks. Check the link in the description. This is your hangout. Please comment, ask questions, and submit answers. Absolutely, man. This is a place to talk wrestling, baby, and let's keep it chill. Participate in trivia and the infamous Nip Game. Sassy selling it for us, baby.
I'm thinking, while we've got it on there, shall we start with the Nips game?
Mate, you just
get some comments.
Screw
going.
it. Let's get it on, man. While we go through the
Go
rest
for
of
it.
the comments. Why not? Get some nipples on the screen, brother. This is your chance to guess the nipples. What you have to do is put the No, don't put your nipples on screen.
You just said put some nips on the screen, so I was going to.
No. It's, people, that's the only ants.dom content. All right. So the rules of nipple game: you have to guess the full name of the superstar included in the nipples, and whoever wins can have a love poem from either myself or Dan. That is how it goes. You get to choose. Dan, can you keep an eye on nipples while I carry on? Full name, everyone. Full name.
Yep, okay.
Superstar. All right. He's got his eyes on his nipples.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your continued. There's the nipples. Oh, there are some pixelated nipples. We will give you a hint if you can't get it. And I'm glad to see that the save file name is not going to give you any hints.
100%. I did make that mistake. The very first one I did about 4 weeks on Raw. It said it right at the top of the screen, so everyone's away.
Wow, well done to everyone who guessed that one correctly. Dan, that's great. Guys, right, whose nipples you think they are in the chat? Looks like Elias is going to be featured endeavored soon. I didn't know about that, Dan.
He's not been on TV for quite a while, and I just think that he's a good wrestler. I think he'd be good in Impact. So
yeah, definitely.
Having him somewhere else where he could actually put on a show would be quite good.
I think he's really embraced gimmicks that he's been given as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ezekiel gimmick shouldn't have worked, but he really worked to get that over.
Kevin Owens made that get over.
True.
More than anything else.
True.
True. So I'm going to go quickly through because I think we might have someone. We've had Edge. We've had Jeff Jarrett. Both blonde. Both good built guys. But Jack got it quite quickly.
Whoa! Jack knows his Chris Jericho nipples.
Jake got it. Sassy got it.
Well
Becky
done.
didn't think it was Dom, but Dom's definitely not blonde.
That's not. It's hairier as well, like wiry hair. Here we go. Zoom out.
There we go.
Chris Jericho. Y2K Chris Jericho as well. Well done,
Y2J. Y2 Jericho.
Yeah, okay, of course.
I think that was actually his debut night on Monday Night Raw as well.
I think it is. It looks like that as well. Man, he had a pineapple haircut, didn't he? What a sexy man. What a sexy man. Well done, Jack. Who would you like your love poem off? You can either have one off me or Dan. I'm going to get through some more comments. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Oh, yeah, sorry, we was a bit late. We were sorting out tech issues. Hi, Sassy. Late again. Hello, everyone, says Becky. Hey up, Becky. Even got the kids to bed and no and wow. Hi there, Huang. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Hey, Sassy. Hey, it's Jack in the house. Welcome, Jack. Well done for getting the Nips game answer, brother. Let us know whose poem you want. It's Bearant. Mate, my spelling's awful, and we was rushing to get this together. Dan was doing a lot of hard work to get stuff together.
Yeah, not hard work, but work.
You did a good job. Good for you,
That's
Becky.
right.
How are you today? Sassy. Becky, the best. Hi there. I'm good, but pelvis and ankle hurt. Sorry to hear that, Jack. Hope your pelvis and ankle get better soon. Tech problems, more like he's stuck in the toilet. Absolutely. Becky got it right in one. Was that you writing that to my partner?
Yeah.
You prick. Well, if you will glue him to the seat, that'd be hilarious. Remember to flush. Dudes, I do flush the toilet. Come on. Hang in there, Jack. We're pulling for your boss. We certainly are. That's funny, though, Becky Thompson. It certainly is. And remember to clean the loo. I'll be mad if you don't, mate. What is this? This isn't wrestling chat, Becky. It's fine. Wash your hands. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't even go to the toilet, Dan.
I mean, you disappeared off screen for about 10 minutes, so I don't know. I'm presuming you went.
Unbelievable. Leave the seat down. What is this? Why is this talking about my... This is not the intention of the stream. I need to go to AEW in 2 weeks. Is there anyone else going to AEW in chat? Let us know. Are you making silly messages already, Becky? She certainly is. Becky, tell my fella the same. What, to put the toilet down? And the Fiends come in. Don't forget to flush. Can you imagine if the Fiend just showed up in your bathroom?
I mean, no. I don't want to. I don't want to imagine that.
Well, some of the storylines does come out in his bathroom. That's because it's shit, Dan. That's because it's shit. I'm just explaining my joke to you. Yes, and that if he leaves up the seat with a bucket looking at him, yeah, okay. Are you going to tell funny jokes? She is allowed to. Well, I'm not good at telling funny jokes. Juan, you are a wonderful. You are one of the personalities at the Gimme Hull Yeah fan club, so you rock. Who hasn't paid their electric bill? Probably me. And even less time until AEW now. So I'd guess you're telling funny jokes. She certainly is. I'm not even close enough to be funny. Yes, you are. The thumbnail photo was taken in SoFi Stadium in LA. I asked to be photoshopped in. You asked the wrong person.
Jack.
You asked me. I wasn't doing it. The person that does all the graphics in this place is Dan. He rocks, and we do love you for it, Dan. Cool. What's the smell? Seriously, the Rock is probably cooking, Jack. Jesus Christ. Why?
It's probably been brewing for 24, 48 hours, depending on what it is. If you go to Taco Bell, it might be 20 minutes.
Hi, Jake. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in and joining us, bro. Aaron says, hey.
That's one of the guys I used to work with officially. He's officially left the company now, but he's got another job. I've got another one starting in just over a week, so we're both good dudes.
Good, man. Good. I'm sure you can tell us about that later on, Dan, because you've had some fun times to go through.
Yeah.
Not really. Becky is smart, as she certainly is. I miss him already. Not the snoring, though. I miss Becky. I've had a whole week at Becky's, but I'm going to talk about that during the next nipple game. Jake, nice to see you, brother. We all know Ant's really not flushed. Dudes, do I have to get the bloody camera to my bathroom to prove that I have cleanliness? Dan seems to be champion. He's not champion. He's not champion. How did that make you feel? I won it again, Dan. I won it again.
For now. I'm going to win it back at All In, so...
Should Finn Balor leave WWE? Matt, put that into the question sections and we'll spend a lot of time talking about that at the end of the episode because we want to have that, like the really good questions in a base, and I think that's a really good question. If there's any others, put them in that chat questions because we are going to be going to that at the end of the episode. It's going to be released as its own video, and I think that's the sort of thing that makes good content, right? So why blow it when
it's stuff that people are definitely interested in because we know how good of a performer he is and how many places would be clamoring to get him.
Absolutely, yeah. I think and we can talk about that for ages. So put that in the questions. I want to have all the good questions for like the end, so we can block it all as one video and release it midweek content.
Yeah.
Jack loved Oppenheimer. I also don't think we should be talking about Finn Balor when we're all obsessed with my poop. I'm good, Huang. How are you doing, mate? Ant wore pink and purple for Barbie. I certainly did, baby. Yeah. The only person that's leaving WWE was Jey Uso. Ooh. We're going to talk about that today, Dan.
Yeah, we will.
It's a good storyline. It's to give the bloodline a break. Well, it's a good idea. A good idea. I'm doing good and okay. Please be respectful, home. We're all friends here. We certainly are. Huang, you are one feisty one. I'm being respectful for everyone here. I'm not being disrespectful. Thank you. That's cool. Mate is a term of friendship. It certainly is. I missed the Nips games. Jake, it's back. We've got some more ready for you as well this evening, so don't go anywhere. Hopefully you all remember certain ego that is Altered Ego back in the house. It was his birthday on Tuesday, Dan.
Happy birthday for last Tuesday then.
Yeah,
sorry,
man,
I'm late.
It's his birthday. It's all good. We've got 19 people in. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna carry on in a second because I can't just read comments all day. I'm gonna have to get quicker at reading comments because like there's so much. Oh, this is all the Nicholas games. They certainly have. It seems like people want an opportunity to chat, right?
Yeah.
Jack met Chris Jericho. I need to be high now. Danny, go get yourself a smoke. Lovely to see you, though, brother. Of course, it's illegal in your state. Oh, poetry from the dulcet tones of Mr. Hargreaves. Dan, he wants a poem from you.
Shall I go now? Or shall I wait for a little bit? Yeah.
Just go now.
So I'm going to keep it fun and interesting because I'm going to get AI to write it for me.
Oh, I love it. I love your new gimmick.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, that's the wrong button. The wrong one. Hang on. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, that's the one I want. There we go. It's yours, Dan.
So I've literally put Jack the Lad because that's what he starred as in my phone.
Here we go. I love poem.
Keep it simple. In the land of swagger and streetwise charm, there lived a lad called Jack with his own kind of charm. With a cocky grin and a twinkle in his eye, he was known to be the wildest guy. There you go, Jack.
Right, Dan, that is your new gimmick from now on, and we won't mention this. Obviously, my gimmick, for those of you that have been with us long enough, is to just spout off some musical lyrics here and pretend they're my own. Dan's is now going to be AI. So anytime you ask for Dan, he's gonna ask AI to write you a poem. But we're not going to tell Dom and Sam.
I'm going to bookmark that page. That's awesome.
Nice, that's fun. That's a cool gimmick, man. I love it. I'm sorry for being so feisty. That's all good. We like you feisty, Huang. But just chill. It's all cool. Danny, why, if I can ask what to be high? Because why wouldn't you be high? Seth has joined us. Where's Seth? Hey, Norma, welcome, brother. Nice to see you. Thank you, Mark, for the gift. Oh, bless you, Mark. Mark, give a gift. That gimmick killed him. That's why he's leaving. Oh, the Ezekiel.
I loved it. I thought it was so fun.
I agree. Thanks for giving me the definition of the word. Huang, it's all good. Hi there. Right, let's move on. Trent can't watch Ant. That's his own fault. He needs to get an iPhone. Let's move on. Let's... Oh, mate, I feel like I'm missing stuff. Are we happy to move on to trivia, Dan?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Sweet. New section, guys. This is brand new to the podcast, so let's see if it works well. Here we go. We have our quiz up here. We are going to do one later on that you guys can vote on exactly what you want us to do. This is a 10-minute quiz, Dan. We have 60 to find, and it is all of the King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, and Money in the Bank winners. We are going to go one at a time, and we have 10 minutes to find 60. How do you think we're going to do?
I'm going to say 65%, 70%-ish, somewhere on there.
Okay. Well, I'm not even looking at the comments, so whatever you write in the comments, it won't get us there. We've got about 70%. What do you guys think we are going to get? Obviously, the loser can be the person that can't get the last one. Yeah?
Yeah, we'll see. We don't know.
Competition. Let's go. I'm going to play the quiz, and then we're going to go. Are you ready, Dan?
Yep, go for it.
On your marks, I'll go first. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, shoot, we got to do it in order. Royal Rumble 1998.
You don't have to do it in order.
It was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, wasn't it? Yes, it was Duggan. No, it is in order. It is absolutely in order. Oh, my God, this is in order, Dan. Right, we'll do it together.
Big John
69. Stood. Well done. 1990 was Hogan. That's right.
1991, I think.
Was Macho, wasn't it?
No, was it Yokozuna?
No, that was 93.
Yeah, Yokozuna eliminated Macho Man.
No, that was 93. 91 was the one where Rick Martel stayed in for the longest.
I think, didn't Hogan win it twice in a row?
It might have been twice in a row. Yes, it was. Yeah. Royal Rumble 92, Flair. Royal Rumble 93, Yokozuna, correct, yeah. 94.
Bret Hart, Lex Luger.
Bret Hart.
Double elimination.
It was.
Try Luger first.
Why was he Lex Luger and Bret and Hart? There we go.
Yeah.
95 was Michaels.
95, 96 was the first Michaels back to back.
Oh, I can't spell Michaels. My spelling's terrible. There we go. ELS. Cool.
Austin.
Royal Rumble 97 was Austin. That's right. 98 was Austin again. Let's go. 99 wasn't
McMahon.
Austin.
Vince McMahon won it.
Well done.
The Rock.
Was 2000 The Rock?
Yeah, that was Big Show. 2001 was...
Was it Austin again?
Yeah, Austin again.
Yeah.
2002 was that Benoit?
Was it Benoit? Mate, I'm getting bad after this.
No.
It wasn't Benoit.
2002. What's 15? 16? Headlined WrestleMania that year, yeah.
I don't know, man. Oh, we're stuck.
Was that
2002?
No, was that was Lesnar. 2002 was Lesnar.
It wasn't Lesnar.
No.
It wasn't Angle. 2002.
I think it was Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. No, it's not coming up. Man.
AR. Lesnar's AR at the
LES.
end.
Oh,
NAR.
mate, why did we do this with the NAR? No, it's not coming up, man.
No.
Oh, guys, help us out in chat. We've got 7 minutes left and we're stuck.
Brock Lesnar. Wasn't Angle.
Brock says.
Yeah, I thought it was Brock.
Lesnar. It's
No.
not coming up, man.
WrestleMania 19, I think.
Oh,
No,
mate,
WrestleMania 18. What was the Triple H? No, because he came back later this year.
It's
just try
the
word triple space H. Try the word Triple H. No, triple TRIPLE. There
yes, it
we
was
go.
Triple H. Well done to who got it for us?
Mark.
Jack got it, and Matt got it as well.
Matt got it, I think, as well.
2003. Rey Mysterio won one, didn't he?
That was 2006.
Or was it?
2002, 2003.
Rock again, was it? No.
That one could be Lesnar. AR.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Lesnar. Was that one Guerrero? No, it wasn't Guerrero.
Oh, mate, don't get me to spell Guerrero. Don't tell me he's won one.
No, he hasn't.
Good.
I'm just working it out.
Let us know in chat, guys. We've got 5 minutes
one,
left.
I think that one was Benoit.
Benoit, yeah. I think Jack's got it as well. Well done, Jack. There we go. Chris Benoit, 2005.
That one was Cena. No, Batista. Really? Batista. That was the Cena Batista double elimination.
And 2006 was Ray.
That was Mysterio.
2007.
Was that one Undertaker?
Yes, it was. Well done, Dan.
Was Randy Orton?
No, it doesn't seem to be. Oh, mate, I can't believe this is in order. Come on, guys, help us out. 2008, Cena, Sassy says.
WrestleMania 24, Cena, yeah. Yeah, that was the one where he returned at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, no, he hadn't won it 3 times. Was that the one that The Rock... no, it wasn't the wrong.
No, Rock has only won the one.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't matter. 2009, so this will have been... Will it Cena Rock too?
I don't think so. 2009. Was that one Orton?
We'll try Orton. Yes,
Orton,
it was.
Yeah.
Well done. Randy Orton. Randy! Mark is excited. 2010. Mate, I'm stumped on this.
26.
Hey up, Jessica. Nice to see you. Hi, Sam. How you doing?
I can't think of. My mind's gone blank now. 2010. What WrestleMania was that? 10.
Sheamus.
Yeah, Max Sheamus. Good shout. EAMUS.
Not coming up.
So 10. Was that Alberto Del Rio?
It was Edge.
Edge.
It wasn't
Edge.
Sheamus. Yeah,
that was 2011 was I think that was Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it certainly was. 2012.
Then I think it was. I can't remember what was you typing in a second ago.
Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2013.
Dolph Ziggler win a Rumble?
No. WrestleMania 29, was that Cena?
Try it. It certainly was. Yeah, right, Money in the Bank 2005. Edge 2006.
Edge.
Edge, yeah, I've got Edge next.
Edge again. I think.
Win it twice? No.
No, was that one Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, because he relinquished it to Edge?
No.
2006. No, RVD, because he went to
RVD. No.
No. Just
No.
try Van Damme, because it might be Van Damme instead of RVD.
No.
No.
Hello, Bethany. Hello, everyone. Help us out with this trivia. We finally find out Money in the Bank winner 2006.
It wasn't Ziggler, was it? That's too early for Ziggler.
No.
CM Punk. I know he won it early on, but I thought it was 2007-ish.
It could be, man. No, it wasn't Punk.
No.
What Swagger, was it?
No, I think he was a bit later. 2006.
Second Money in the Bank holder, guys.
I could have sworn it was RVD because he cashed in at One Night Stand against Cena, didn't he?
Rob Van Dam.
Yeah,
it was. Yes, it's come up. Yeah, cool.
Try Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, it was 2008.
2008. That one was that one CM Punk.
Yes, it was 2009.
Was that one Randy Orton? No. 2009.
Punk again.
Was that one
2010.
Ziggler? Was that Ziggler?
No, it was 2010. No.
Del Rio.
Did Rio win the bank in 2010?
Yeah. I'm not sure when it was, but it was very similar. Max gone Swagger.
I thought it was Swagger. Yes, it is Swagger. Cool. Right, so the Raw winner in 2010. I didn't know they had separate things.
Could that one be Ziggler? Yeah.
Zigzagler.
Pop on Raw.
No.
I can't think of who else won it.
Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle never won it.
No. I think Jack's just done it to try and wind us up.
He certainly is. We're running out of time. How long have we got?
10
seconds.
I can't think of anyone else. Jack's put Ziggler.
Brian.
Was it Brian?
No, it was The Miz. It was The Miz. Nobody put The Miz. Wow. Well done, Dan. I didn't expect that to be like in order.
No, that was very hard to do it in order.
Yeah, but it meant we could ask people to help us out, and I really enjoyed that, actually.
That was good fun.
So the other answers was The Miz for Raw in 2010. The 2010 SmackDown winner was Kane. The 2011 winner for Raw was Alberto Del Rio, with the SmackDown winner being Brian. Then the 2012 winner on Raw was John Cena, while SmackDown was Dolph Ziggler. Then it was quite late then, 2012. Money in the Bank for 2013 for Raw was Randy Orton, and for SmackDown was Damian Sandow, of course. And then going into the King of the Rings that we didn't even get a chance to do.
This is where I would have struggled more than anything.
I kind of don't even want to read them because I want to do it all as a separate thing, but let's read them for now. Don Morocco was 1985. Harley Race, 1986. King Harley Race, yep. Randy Savage, of course, the Macho King. Ted DiBiase, Tito Santana. Yes, I forget he wins King of the Ring, man. Would never have got that. Bret Hart won twice in 91 and 93. And then, of course, in 94, his brother take it off him. That is Owen Hart. Then we had Mabel winning in 95, King Mabel. Steve Austin in 96, King of the Ring 97.
With the iconic promo.
Yeah.
After he beat Jake the Snake Roberts.
316 says, I just kicked your ass. Triple H won in 97. 98 was Ken Shamrock. 99 was Billy Gunn. 2000 was Kurt Angle. 2001 was Edge. 2002 was Brock Lesnar. 2006 was Booker T. 2008 was William Regal. And 2010 was Sheamus. That was fun.
So it was fun. It's not up to date because they haven't got the newer King of the Ring winners.
They certainly don't, but they only give us 10 minutes. Well, they didn't give us any of the newer Royal Rumbles either.
No, true.
But that was hella fun, man.
It was good fun. I liked that.
Thank you very much, everyone, for participating. Let's get back into some comments, and then we're going to move into a little bit of talk about SummerSlam. Those either want to stay with us. I asked Dan to Photoshop your opulent poo. Nice, thanks. Says unavailable. I do remember that Madcap Moss tells a funny joke, though. Remember, Madcap Moss was a joker.
Yeah, with Corbin, which was very poor.
Can anyone work out why Trent can't view the live? Sorry, I can't because I'm not there. Is Dynamite 2 dependent on Elite and BCC?
I was going to say, could that be age restriction on the phone? Because if he's got an account for a certain age, our YouTube account is basically an age restricted type one, I think.
That could absolutely be why. That could be why, Becky, if she's still here. Is Dynamite 2 dependent on the Elite and BCC? Love the question, Sassy.
Yes.
Don't want to talk about it right now. Put it in that question section because I want to put that into a whole video thing, and that's a bloody good question that we can talk about a little bit. Thank you. If that's okay, Sass. Jack won the Robot Republic belt for SummerSlam. I'm so keen for All In. All In should be great. Where should Jordan Grace go? Sassy, write these down in that question thing. This is great.
That's what it's there for.
This is great. I gave my ankle a break. Nice. I think I've broken my right hip, mate. Don't do that. 19 people are in the chat. Let's party. Oh, absolutely, man. The Hull Yeah Hangout party. That's what it is. I'm also not complaining like the Miz always does. No, I'm glad. Let's have a look. Some bloke at work did an AICV. It was so bad.
I'm not surprised. If I had to explain what I do as what I've been doing as my job into AI, they'd go, "You're not qualified to do anything, and you can't do anything." But
so
yeah.
Why are you here? It's a love the poem, Dan. That was great, man. AI was such a clever idea.
Clever idea to offer.
Do you know what the Miz needs though? What does he need? Miz always whining and complaining like a 2-year-old. Do you need a baby milk bottle? What? No, he can watch on his Xbox, but not on his phone. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's probably an age restriction thing. A diaper and a bottle. Royal Rumble 98 was Big John Stud, and that's you can click next at any time. Oh, mate.
I know, but that's no fun skipping stuff that we don't know.
Why did I do that? Why didn't I read the comments, Mark? Great comment, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah.
I even click one of the dates. Damn it. There we go. Hi from Sam and Jess. Jess, hope you're having a nice time away, love. And well done on your interview on Tom Talks Rubbish.
Yes.
Austin didn't win 97. Love watching wrestling with you guys. Peace from New York. Thank you for popping in, Peter. Appreciate it, brother. There we go. Loads more. Hi there. Hey, Peter. That's Brock. Lots more of these going on. Sam popped in and says, "Hi, boys. Jess and I are getting ready for bed at the Wild Boar Hotel. I'll join you next week. Rock and roll. You enjoy your Wild Boar Hotel, baby." Hi, guys. Jess, well done. Cena Rock was, there we go. So we've got even more of that. Bethany popped in and said, hello, Bethany. Thank you so much for popping in. JPW's also joined us. Thank you so much for joining in. We appreciate it. What is up, party people? Says Tom Talks Rubbish. Tom also gets in RVD. Mark was really helpful for doing that. Sassy was really helpful. Jack, JPW, thank you all so much for and where's Wade? And I want to cover your face. With a pillow, I'd assume. Sweet. Dan, that was fun.
Oh, definitely.
Right, should we get on to our next topic?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Let's talk about the AEW's women division. So I brought this up as a topic I wanted to talk about in this week's episode because I am frustrated by it. 2 weeks ago on AEW Dynamite, there was a match between Britt Baker and Taya Valkyrie, and it was a lackluster match. They made a couple of mistakes during the match. It was a bit of mistakes during the match. It was okay. It was fine, but it was nothing. And it was a thrown-on match, right? The week before at Blood and Guts had Britt Baker in a squash match. And the reason why? Because they'd forgot to put a women's division match on. So they went, put Britt Baker out there for 15 minutes. Zero character work, zero anything. Just go out there and beat this. It was bad, right?
Yeah.
After the Taya Valkyrie and Britt Baker match, the camera zoomed in on a sign that it wasn't supposed to zoom in on. And that sign said, Tony, book the women's division better. So, the week after Dynamite 200, the main event, in what was a deserved main event, was Hikaru Shida going up against Toni Storm to put on a cracking match. That card was a really good show, and they put on a really solid match. But of course they are. It's Hikaru Shida and Toni Storm. And then the week after, so we've got this. We've got the new title holder. That's what the picture's all about. And what they've done is they've said, we're refreshing the division. We've had Jamie Hayter go out on injury. Our plans have been scarpered a little bit. Let's do something to freshen it up. Let's book the women's division better. And then this week on Dynamite, another main event for the women. But this time, Hikaru Shida and Anna Jay, who had zero build for anything. They had zero storyline. And Anna Jay is not ready for a main event. The ratings on that were probably down. I'm gonna check out the ratings now, see if we can see the ratings. But that is not how you book a women's division better. Dan, what's your thoughts on this, man?
From what I've watched of stuff like Dynamite and Collision and a lot of the AEW stuff, they normally seem to put a women's match on before the main event. And it was Tony Khan's de facto spot for a women's match, because I think that his mind was like, it's just before the main event, people tune in to see what the main event is, but they'll catch the women's division. And it was, to me, lazy, putting that spot every single week for numerous weeks. But you're getting one women's match per show. You can't build a women's division with one women's match per show. If you look at what WWE have been doing with the women's division, there's been multiple segments on Monday Night Raw from when I've been watching it, putting stories together, and they've been building them.
They certainly have.
Doesn't seem to have been doing any of that whatsoever for quite a while. And these injuries are causing a bit of havoc for WWE as well as AEW. People going down left, right, and centre while holding championships. And to me, it feels like, I know Hikaru Shida's an unbelievable performer, but it's, can we put the title on that makes it feel legit for a little bit until we get these people back from injury, rather than using it to build someone.
Absolutely. And also, and here's what's really frustrating. So the P18 to 49 viewership for the, so basically they release the cable ratings in terms of total viewership. In the 18 to 49, the Hikaru Shida and Anna Jay match lost a lot of people. It was down from 508 to 491. Now, the lowest at that point in the show had been 501. Suddenly, it's seeing people not staying interested. And the reason for that is because they aren't doing story. But like you say, Dan, WWE is able to create these stories with multiple layers. And the problem is, man, there is no stories being told in AEW for the women's division.
No. I mean, the way that I'd sort of say it is, you look at Rhea Ripley in WWE on Monday Night Raw. Since winning the title, it's obviously a point of controversy with Roman Reigns, but how many matches has she had since WrestleMania?
Yeah.
She's been on a few of the PLEs, but she's been in the background working with Dawn, working with Judgment Day, but still being able to create stories for them feuds without actually wrestling.
That's right, man.
We've got a great story for Raquel Rodriguez. I know they're probably going to do it at Payback, but the injury angle that Raquel Rodriguez has been having after Liv Morgan went out with a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
You've got you've got the Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch story going on. Trish hasn't been wrestling, you've got Zoe Stark in there being built with the association with Trish Stratus. And
the thing is, you're booking multiple stories. So if we let's play a little game. I'll name the stories in AEW for the women's division. You name the stories in WWE for the women's division. The Outcasts taking over.
yeah,
That's an AEW story. What's a WWE story?
you've got the Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus being the best there ever was. Trish is obviously best of last generation.
There we go. Next story is there's a tournament with no actual storyline investment in it for a title. What's your next story?
Again, like I said, we've got the Rhea Raquel Rodriguez story. Women's tag title being relinquished because of the injury to Liv Morgan.
Yeah. The problem is, and my point is, you've got these stories that are crossing over. Look at Io Sky, look at Bailey, look at the whole cash-in stuff. There's all these multiple layers of stories falling on top of each other. At the minute, we're getting Taya Valkyrie, who loses week after week against top stars, faces one lesser star, and then gets put into a main event match in the next one where she's going for a title.
Yeah.
For something that's described itself as being sports based, it's really frustrating me, man.
Yeah, I mean, is the Owen Hart tournament still going on, or is that finished?
No, that finished, and was it Willow that won it? I think it was Willow that won it.
Willow Nightingale, yeah.
Yeah, and then nothing happened afterwards, man.
Exactly. That's the point. Is because the winner hasn't been seen on TV pretty much since it winning the tournament. You forget who's won it.
Oh, Dan, it's worse than that. The week after that, on that collision, Ricky Starks comes out to a firework, like a minute's worth, $1 million of pyro. You didn't even see Willow Nightingale on the show.
No. And to me, that is exactly the problem that we've got at the minute.
Carry
on.
No, please.
You've got sort of a kind of homegrown Ricky Starks, AEW, near enough original type. You've got Willow Nightingale who's coming from an outsider's point, winning the same tournament, just on a different sort of male-female brand. Which one looks like the big star of winning the tournament?
Yeah.
It looks like because Willow's an outsider, he's not interested, and that's how it can sometimes feel.
It certainly does, and it's hurting the product. I'm really interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I also wanted to bring into this conversation a little bit was Lufisto's backstage politics as well. Have you heard about this?
Not off the top of my head from what I've been reading, but yeah, go for it.
So there was a lady called Lufisto who's a independent wrestler who's wrestled for a long time. There was actually looking at her becoming a coach within AEW, or at least that's what she was told at first. But actually her experience of being in AEW was less than stellar. Talking and calling out a lot of names on the roster, including Dustin Rhodes, saying that she was given the cold shoulder, saying that she wasn't selling her during the match she had on Dark with Ruby Soho and several other women's. The meeting that she was supposed to have with Tony Khan never ended up happening. And I'll read it. I'll read it out exactly what she said. We go backstage and they all keep going. Dustin is right there and it's like, "What did you do?" "What do you mean?" she said. "You made all those girls that are signed when you're not look really bad. It was terrible." She said, "Okay, details." "You should have bumped on everything they did." I'm like, everything they planned was for me to sell to the next, for the other to sell, to the tag me in, to give a clothesline tag out, and then only tag back in. I have 40 seconds in there. So in 40 seconds, she's getting a backside ripped out by Dustin Rhodes for doing what. But nobody's gone to her first and said this is an issue.
No. Tony Khan, from what I've read online, has never been that good with certain bits of communication. I mean, look at Marco Stunt. When he got released, he didn't actually realise he was released until it came up on the AEW page saying, "Thanks for your time."
Mm-hmm.
And that is such bad management that you're letting people go and you're not sort of thanking them. You're not even giving them acknowledgement of thanks for your time with us, but we just don't want to re-sign you.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that with your people who you're letting go, it's going to make the people that do work for you feel very, very similar, very sort of let down. Sassy's put about Big Swole as well, having exactly the same thing. An absolute megastar, or had the potential to be, I think, one of the biggest women in AEW.
And when she left, she called out Tony Khan, especially for the way that he treated her as well. So, because we do, and Tony Khan, I'm not just going to turn this into a Tony Khan rant, because actually I think he's a great person who does a lot of wonderful stuff for wrestling in general. Like his charitable side is phenomenal. Let's be perfectly honest. However, she was calling him out, and now we're hearing more stories of that, Dan. And I don't know what's true anymore and what's not true.
No. But I mean, like, you've got multiple different accounts of the same thing happening. In all honesty, there's no smoke without fire.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. Maybe so. Let's see what people have to say about this, Dan. No big company is showcasing women enough. I feel WWE are doing a decent job.
They're doing a very good job, I think. It might not be perfect, but they are at least building stars.
Yes, and I think
nothing.
How many women's matches did SummerSlam have on it? It had the three-way with SummerSlam ladder match.
Oh, SummerSlam. No, sorry. The three-way.
The three-way, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Was that it?
I think that was it, but it was two very high-profile matches.
I mean, they certainly could showcase them more. I'd say, if you're going to have a whole division on it, and they've always shied away from that, but at least you're getting two matches on there as opposed to like nothing. Impact is another company that does very well as GCW, and GCW have a lot of intergender matches as well, Dan.
Yeah. I mean, I still think we are at the absolute peak of being able to put on another Evolution pay-per-view. A full women's pay-per-view, showcase every single aspect of it. You've got the workers, you've got the brawlers, you've got the high flyers, you've got titles.
WWE did that with Evolution.
That's what I mean, is we're ready for another one of them pay-per-views back from WWE.
I agree, but screw just WWE. Get AEW to do one. Force them into a position where they have to tell some stories.
Yeah.
And get Tony Khan invested in them numbers. You know, maybe that's the way. Sometimes, like, as people, we have to push ourselves and we have to set goals to help us achieve that and stuff like that. If he was to say, look, I want to sell pay-per-views, I've got to build up this women's division to make sure that it's ready to go on then. I mean, WWE, the reason they did Evolution was because of a Saudi show, wasn't it? Because the very first
they wasn't very happy about the women wrestling on the show, so they decided to do a women's pay-per-view to counteract and give women a platform.
Yes, and so it was kind of out of what I'm saying is it wasn't just the WWE being innovative; it was them being pushed into a position because the fans were annoyed that there was no women matches on this Saudi show. So. But yeah, I think AEW pushing a female-only pay-per-view could be a really good thing for the division. That's how I'd resolve it.
I mean, a Forbidden Door with the women's division plus Stardom, I think could be amazing.
Yeah. It could absolutely be. But why are they not a bigger part of Forbidden Door? That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know,
let's have a look at the Forbidden Door card because I think that was quite bad.
There was one women's match on it, and it was Toni Storm. Was it Toni Storm and Hayter? Is that where she lost the title? Because
there was Athena defeating Billy Starks, but that was the
pre-show
first round match. Yep, on
great
the
match by the way. Billy Starks is amazing.
Yeah, but on the actual main card itself, you had Toni Storm with Ruby Soho and Saraya defeating Willow Nightingale. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not memorable, that's for sure. GCW is an international promotion, and this is to Jack saying, "Is GCW not big?" Yeah, GCW is probably like more seen internationally than ECW ever was.
Yeah,
you know, it's got more of a platform. ECW was never available to watch in the UK and stuff like this when we was there. Like Dan Reeves talked about it, he was having to get someone across in the States to tape it for him to send him across. So GCW is certainly more watched than ECW ever was in the UK. There we go.
Yeah. I mean, you've got so much internet, social media, so many different platforms to watch wrestling now. And not just wrestling, pretty much anything you want. You've got the ability for VPNs, so you can watch stuff on HBO Max when you're in the UK. And different versions of Netflix, different locations have different things.
Content.
And back then, I mean, 15, even 10 years ago, to be able to do stuff like that was right on the sort of cutting edge of social media streaming platforms and stuff like that. So now, we can go on the internet, we can go GCW show, and we can find somewhere to watch it.
Yeah, Fight. I mean, in the UK, it's like Fight is easy.
It's our
on YouTube.
It's like our Peacock for wrestling, isn't it?
Certainly is. And you were still using like old Flash-based websites to view ECW back in the day. But neither book women as well as indies like Eve, Wrestling Revolver, Defy, and Stardom. I agree completely, Sassy. GCW is still drawing. Domar says this may all be on Khan. He may feel that the audience's interest is in a men's division, which is totally untrue. Absolutely. But the problem is, now after that main event that he put on, which was a mistake, which was bad booking, he's now got stats, which is why I bring up the ratings, which dropped. Now he's got a stat to say, well, the women's division's not working there, so bin it.
Yeah. But we know that if you built the store, you'll put stories. It doesn't have to be main event every week.
Maybe he's right. He's got the stat now. What I would argue is if you don't give a freaking story to it, why the hell would anyone care?
Yeah,
but maybe he's right.
The Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa match. That was lights
that main
out.
Evented, but that deserved to main event, man.
Yeah,
that was one of the best matches.
The story, it feels legitimate where it is, and the main event. The lights out match was a stipulation that made it feel even more legitimate, and the story with them being two trucks colliding head on, made the lights out match stipulation relevant, made the main event match relevant. And
one of the best times for the women division in AEW, for sure.
And it was one of the most viewed main events of Dynamite up until that point, if I remember rightly.
It was. And
because the story was there.
Because the story was there. It wasn't just Anna Jay going for a random title shot, you know. Even though Anna Jay was on earlier in the show, there was nothing to promote it. It's madness, man.
Yeah.
Madness. Love you guys. See you Friday. Got the doors with us. They're exhausted. No, true. AEW needs a woman's booker. Call AJ Lee or Mickey James or Dan Reed, I think, as well. Sassy
Dan Reed would be a great shout.
I think he bloody would. Did you have your steak and beer, Sam? Have a great time. We did have a whiskey too. Oh, lovely. Whiskey, beer, and steak. All the major food groups, all the staples right there.
There's no cheese there. That's the major food group.
Yeah, we do need cheese. The same issue with Big Swell. Yeah, thank you, Sassy. We talked about that briefly because of your comment. WWE's job is okay, but still reeks of tokenism.
Yeah.
It can do. I think it can do. But I think that they've intertwined. What they've done is they've created characters that are
you're invested in.
Rich, and you are invested in them in multiple ways that it works. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, if you go to Rhea Ripley, she's been doing stuff with Dominic Mysterio.
Exactly.
Plus the rest of the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that you could take Finn Balor out and the rest of Judgment Day would still kind of work. You took Damian Priest out, it would still kind of work. You took Rhea out or Dom out, and I think it'd fall flat.
You know what?
You are exactly right.
You are exactly right, my friend. Some people are getting too much of a say in other people's wrestling participation. How do you mean? They need to build women's stars, not Outcasts and Britt Baker. Yes,
Yeah.
they do. They need stories for everyone. They need intention behind stuff. This is all just the show. It's all just acting. It's all just a play. And if you don't have a story and characters going into it, then you ain't got nothing. Jack's keyboard is dying.
You'll look at Athena,
Who has
Ring of
been
Honor
like
Women's Champion, absolutely
doing-
amazing performer.
Yeah, but she's been doing that by putting on cracking matches, and she seems to be doing that a lot herself, as opposed to given the time to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, if I was Athena, if you can put on a great match week in, week out, whether you've got no story whatsoever or you've got a story, if you can put on the best match on the show, Tony Khan will have to look at it and go, yeah, she's doing great. I want to bring her onto Dynamite. And then she might be able to get a story.
Because her and Willow did headline the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and people praised for it as well.
Yeah,
There was a lot
because
of
it was epic. It was so good.
Yeah.
Two absolutely amazing performers going against each other. I do kind of feel that probably Tony Khan has lost a bit of hope when Mercedes Moné got injured, because I reckon he was dying for her.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. But you shouldn't be pinning your division on one person. WWE don't do that. Well, apart from Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But that's different. That's a dynamic story that's doing really well.
That's a 3-year story that's been built from the ground up.
He doesn't need to. I mean, Sassy says he needs to bring in Killer Kelly, Masha, Billy Starks, Jessica, Ali Catch to AEW, women who wrestle and love it. The problem is, if they're not getting shown the respect back and the time back, then they're not going to stay either. You know, wrestlers who are technically sound and hardworking. No edge to AEW women. I think there can be edge. They're just not. They're not giving them time.
No.
They're not giving them the time they need. The Bailey Io story is a great example of a good storyline. They get a huge audience pop, and everyone is waiting for the Bailey to turn on Io.
That has been probably, it's been a chef kiss level of fantastic story for the past year.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect Damage Control to stay together without any issues for a full year. And even with Triple H booking.
Yeah.
I presumed that you would probably have Bailey turn on one or both of them at some point very early on. But there's been since Io won the Money in the Bank last month, there's been them little teases, but it's still nice to see a faction not thrown together just for the sake of splitting up about 3 months later.
Yeah. And they've been doing some great storytelling with that, because it's not all just been focused on Bailey and Io. Io's got her intentions. Bailey has her intentions. They're in a faction together, and that creates a friction that is what makes storytelling engaging. You know, agree, says Sassy. Need more of that story development with other women's teams. I 100%. And I think we're going to end that section on that. Thank you so much, everyone, for commenting on that. Some really great conversation there. And if you want to see if the AEW women's division can improve, you know where to join me. It's on a Wednesday night. Dynamite live streams. We do them every week. We hang out. We all celebrate as a family here. So come and hang out with us if you want to. What should we talk about next, Dan?
I'm thinking we could have a quick Nips game.
You want a Nips game?
I'm thinking so.
Let's do it. Why, do you guys want a Nips game? I'm going to go to toilet real quickly if we do a Nips game. Is that all right?
I mean, yeah.
Thanks.
You don't have to ask my permission.
I'll be back in a minute. Guys, we are still going to be talking about SummerSlam, Bray Wyatt, the Usos and Roman Reigns, the AEW Elite Crate opening, questions and video questions for you guys to send in. So this show, it's just like, we're trying to talk about stuff in a way that we can't talk about in our live streams. We don't have time to go into this, so this is our chance. If you've got any questions, write them in there and hang out with us for a bit longer. All right?
Yes. See you in a sec. Just shift me up a little bit. There we go. So I've got a Nips gear ready. There we go. That's a bit wilder than I actually thought it would be, but whose do we think they are? Yeah, put the seat down. He will do, I think. I think he knows because he's got a girlfriend he should put the seat down, but whether he does or not is a completely different matter. Jack's off Thursday, so he'll try being in for Dynamite. Cool. He'll be happy with that one. Sassy's got Orton. It's not Orton. Austin Theory. No, it's not Austin Theory. It's not Lance Storm either, Jack. But yeah, it's the women's division, I think, in AEW does need a lot of work. We'll come back to that one probably in a couple of weeks' time, see how they've improved or gone downhill from our last chat. Is it old Brock? It's not old Brock, Mark. It's not Regal. It's not the unspoken one either, Jack. Keep guessing, keep going. But yeah, while you're guessing, if you haven't already, do like and share the video. If you subscribe to the channel, it does really help us out. So we do appreciate that. If you don't want any of our merchandise, you can get that through the Gimme Hull Yeah spread shop. The link is in the description. We have got some awesome new t-shirts that we've reworked. We've got our Hullamaniacs. We've also got our Gimme Hull Yeah NWO style shirt. We've also got Kevin Owens version. We've got, what else have we got? We've got the Gimme Hull Yeah logo. We've got a Bullet Club one. So get checking them out, get buying them, and then we can afford to put some more designs up for you. Is it the new US champion Ray? It's not, Mark. No, it's not Sarah. She might be in chat, but not Sarah. Dynamite Kid, good guess, Sassy, but it's not. It's a bit more up to date. So I'll give you a little clue for that one. So if you do want to see more of us guys, you've got me who covers Monday Night Raw. It's Dan. You've got the Wednesday night show with Ant, who's just disappeared. He'll be back shortly. And then Friday night SmackDown is our own Sam. It's not AJ Styles, but a good guess, Sassy. Premium live events, we'll normally cover pretty much all of them available. It could be a random selection of us. We never know what's going to be on the PLEs depending on work and stuff like that. So you've got to tune in on the day to find out who it is. It's not Drew either, Mark. Are you got any guesses on?
I don't know, man. When Sassy said AJ, I thought it could be AJ. It's
a very good guess. I can see the AJ resemblance, but AJ's got a bit more chest.
I don't recognize. Should we? Is it WWE?
It is WWE.
It is WWE. Okay, so there's another clue for you all. And is this person still wrestling?
I'll say yes. Not on TV at the moment, but he is part of the active roster, I think. I'll double check for you.
Jack says Christian. That's a negative. Miz says Sassy. Is it the Miz, Dan?
Let's have a look.
It's not the Miz. It won't be the Miz. He would have said if it was a Miz. Riddick Moss.
A brilliant shout, but no.
Guess. Oh, Mark, I thought you had it, man. I don't even know who this is, man. Come on, guys, get your guesses in chat. Whose nipples are these? You can win a love poem from either me or Dan. Not involving AI at all. Love it.
So the character did have a big gimmick change at some point last year.
Oh, I know who it is.
You'll
No, I
send it on
don't.
the private chat, see who we think. It's not Rick Boogs.
Rick Boogs. Damian
Not
Priest.
Damian Priest. Damian Priest is too tattooed up for that.
You see, I was going to say big character change. It'd be Elias, but it's not Elias. Or Ezekiel. He's not answering me. He's writing it in.
It's not Corbin.
I think I just guessed Ezekiel. Big Cass says Jack. He's not wrestling with WWE anymore, my friend.
Nope.
Huge gimmick change last year.
I've sent it to you on private chat on StreamYard.
I've just seen. I did guess before that though.
Yeah, I know.
You can say I've won.
I mean, M&M. I could do, but then you can do your love poem to yourself.
No. I want a love poem from Dan. Come on, first person to write it. I've already said the name. Well done, Dan. Good shout, man. Good pair of nips there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very nicely built chest as well. It's not too big where it looks ridiculous.
As if we're just like criticizing the nips now. Dom says Jack, it is not Dom. It is not Dom. Who is Nick Wills good to be? I have already said the name, guys. Come on. Let's go. Zoom it out a tiny bit. There we go. Oh, there we go. We've got some more chested arms there.
I mean, even that one, you could look at that and think it is quite a few people. Big Cass. Look, that is a great shout for Big Cass, but it's not.
Mate, I would have never got that unless you'd give that hint, by the way. I would have never got that.
I was going to sort of say we have spoken about them already on chat earlier on. But I thought that might have been a bit too obvious.
Imperium, says Mark. No, it is no.
It is
none of the Imperium. It does look a bit like Gunther, though.
The new Gunther, yeah.
The new Gunther, yeah. Austin Theory. No, it's not Austin Theory. Mark has already said Austin Theory. Cross. No, it's not Cross. Someone who had a huge gimmick change in the last year. Currently off TV, but still wrestling for WWE. Jack thinks it's Saraya. No, but we'll send you a link to cross compare. No, it's not Saraya.
I think I've already sent Jack that link.
Oh, do you want to zoom out a little bit more? Let people get it. You're going to be kicking yourself, guys. Oh, there we go. We see a bit of the outfit there, man.
I thought I'd just drop in a fraction.
Yeah, man. That's cool. That's all cool. Baron. No, it's not Baron in his pink panties or gold panties with a pink belt. Who could that be? He was in WWE. There we go.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay. None of you can have Elias. None of you can have Elias, but I bet you can guess who it is from Elias. Who's going to be the first person to write his name?
It. We know who it is. So
we know who it is. Who are we going to give that to? Should we give that to Mark?
Whoever gets the correct name first gets it.
There we go. Okay. Oh wow. Mark is like Ezekiel. Yeah. Mark can have it, man. Well done, Mark. Congratulations. You get a love poem from either me or Dan. It's your call, brother. We will give you a love poem. We've got more Nips games for later, so hang out with us, guys. Who knows how long this is going to go on for? It's a hangout, right? It's just a chill out. Ezekiel, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Now we're going to talk a little bit about SummerSlam. Dan, I have a confession to make. I haven't seen SummerSlam. I've watched the first match, but haven't seen any of the other matches. How did you find SummerSlam?
I thought it was a very good show. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it was certainly not a show that I wouldn't mind going back again. I'd happily go and watch a few of them matches again.
I've heard some really good stuff about this show, and I think Dave Meltzer's ratings support that as well, Dan. So I thought we'd have a little game here in terms of where you can talk a little bit about the match, but also guess the rating. This is absolutely stolen from Stephen Larson, who did this, and I found it wildly entertaining. So I thought we'd do it here. But guys, go and support Stephen Larson because they are great and are always delivering awesome content. So let's talk a little bit about Ricochet versus Logan Paul. That's the one match I saw. It was a damn good match, actually.
Yeah, it was, for me, not the surprising shock of the night match, but it was one of the matches where I knew both people was very good at what they do.
Yeah.
But again, Logan Paul going from Money in the Bank to the next Premium Live event and having to get the match down that quickly, how would it work? But Ricochet, consummate professional, looked absolutely brilliant, helped sell for Logan Paul. Logan Paul was beyond selling, which again is something that every so often you don't really see the celebrities doing very well. But Logan has it down.
Yeah. So what do you think Dave Meltzer's star rating was for this?
If it was me, they had sort of using Meltzer's sort of style ratings. The match itself was great. The story was good in the match as well. It had build, it had backstory, which is what you want. I would probably say it'd give it a 4 out of 5 or somewhere around there.
5. That's high for a celebrity match, Dan.
Exactly.
Dave Meltzer's rating was actually 4.25.
So yeah, I can go with that. It was great.
A really good high-rated match there that Dan enjoyed as well. Let's talk about the next match, which was Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. How did this work for you? The MMA rules match.
I understand what they was trying to do with the MMA rules, but I still think I would have preferred more of a fight pit style match.
Fight pit? What are you talking, like the
Matt Riddle cage gimmick
like
style match?
Yeah. Cool.
Very similar to sort of like the Octagon style thing where they have the ring surrounded. And I think that the match itself was okay. The outcome of the match was the best thing bar none. It should have been Shayna looking dominant with the rumours of Ronda leaving, which I think is pretty much a dead set now. So I think right person won, wrong gimmick, but the match itself was passable. I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 5.
A 2 out of 5. Okay. Really? Okay. Well, Dave Meltzer kind of agrees with you, but thinks it was less passable than you do, giving it one of the lowest stars that he gives out is 1.5 stars, saying that people were completely uninterested in the match and the gimmick certainly didn't play off the way that it should have done.
Yeah. I think that the match itself, if it had the right stipulation, I think people would have been invested more. But the MMA rules just didn't seem to do it for anyone.
Okay, cool. Let's go into the next match, which was Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Tell us about this match, Dan.
Again, one of my favourite matches of the night. The sort of rubber match, if you will, from these two absolutely amazing performers. WrestleMania. No, what WrestleMania? Backlash. Money in the Bank. Was it Money in the Bank?
No, it was... oh, God, what was that other pay-per-view? Backlash?
I can't remember.
Anyway, yeah. Go on.
But,
I can't remember.
No. But them two have got really good story going into it. The match itself, again, was really well built with the stories going in. And, I mean, you had Cody with a Kimura lock at one point, which is obviously a Brock Lesnar MMA move. Normally, big, strong, powerful guys use that quite regularly. But Cody helped try and put it on a guy a lot bigger than him. But the match itself, again, very, very good match. Great story. Again, I think the right person won. Brock, I think, is probably going to be taking some time away until at least probably Survivor Series, maybe the Royal Rumble.
Okay, Brock. Well, it's a very slim schedule now anyway, so that makes sense. What would your start rating for this be, Dan?
Again, with that match, I'd probably go at least 4, maybe 4.25-ish.
Ooh, 4.25, so the same as Ricochet and Logan Paul, according to Meltzer. Meltzer actually gave this a 4.5 stars.
Yeah,
Said it was a very good match.
Yeah, but I mean, the only thing I can think of is what would have made it a 5-star.
I guess more story, more investment, more in the ring. I don't know, more false finishes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen the match.
Yeah, maybe in the ring. I mean, it wasn't the longest match. It was about 18 minutes. 17, 18 minutes. So
I think a 4.5-star match is great. I mean, that's something you should go out your way to watch, really.
Yeah.
According to his and according to your sort of review of it as well. How about Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins? Also, guys, in the poll, is your best match of SummerSlam? Get voting so we can read that out at the end of this segment.
Yeah, Seth and Finn, again, these two together have got unbelievably good chemistry. They've had previous matches from 2016 for the inaugural Universal title. The story, even though they've wrestled previously, it's been touted as 7 years in the making. Obviously, because I think this one is the first one since that original match where a title was on the line. So again, the match itself played into that story. You had callbacks to the original 2016 match with the barricade
Universal
spots.
title match, yeah.
Yeah. Where Balor dislocated his shoulder. And there was a lot of references to that original match. And I mean, Seth coming out to the ring wearing the same jacket that he wore from that 2016 match was such an underrated bit of psychological gameplay there.
A nice callback.
Such a good callback. And I don't think, unless you really remember the match or you had it pointed out to you, I don't think it would have been something that many people would have picked up on very quickly.
But how did you rate the actual match, Dan? Because Dave Meltzer gave it a rating. What would your rating be?
I'd probably go about 4.5 on that one because it was just that well done.
It's a high scoring match there.
Very
saying
high.
It was just as good as Cody and Brock, according to Dave Meltzer. He also gave it a 4.5 score, man.
Yeah,
well played.
I think that for me was the match of the night by a long way.
Oh, really?
But it was a very high card in terms of quality.
I think it's one of them things where it depends what your type of match is. We've got a really wide view on voting in the poll as well, which is really cool. So, yeah, let's see what is next. It was the Battle Royale. What did you think of this? LA Knight getting his triumphant win that we all predicted, apart from Sam.
Yeah, I think LA Knight winning was the right call. Because he didn't win Money in the Bank, I think he needed something to get the crowd behind him in terms of a big match feel and a big match win.
Yeah.
But in terms of the overall match itself, it's a battle royal. There's never going to be, I think, a 5-star battle royal ever because of the type of match it is. So for LA Knight to win, I think, was it Sheamus that he ended up eliminating last?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Off the top of my head.
Omos was the beast, though, in this match, right?
Yeah, Omos came out and it was one of the only people to get a proper ring entrance. So, again, it made Omos feel like a big deal. The big guy in the match is always going to be a very sort of spot for a lot of people to get involved in. I think there was 6 or 7 people to eliminate him.
Nice.
So
nice.
As soon as you knew he'd gone, you're looking around the rest of the ring. You've got Sheamus and LA Knight, I think as soon as it came down to them two, people was undecided whether Sheamus would win. That would start a feud with LA Knight, or LA Knight wins. And I think that they made the right call, giving LA Knight that big win after losing at Money in the Bank.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So what star rating would you give this?
It's a 50-50 one. I'd probably go 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. Meltzer said 2.75. Basically a fine battle royal, nothing sort of exceptional, but nothing insulting for sure.
No.
Let's move on to the next match, which was Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. The returning Drew McIntyre going up against the giant that is Gunther. What do you think about this match, man?
I mean, in the words of Sheamus, it was an absolute banger. I'm not doing the accent because I'll offend so many people. But it was physical, which is what you expect from these two guys. They just love to go in there and throw.
Was it as good as Sheamus and Gunther at Clash at the Castle?
I don't think it was, in all honesty.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know if that was because I was actually there at Clash at the Castle and I had a different perspective on that match. But Drew, Sheamus, Gunther, you put any combination of them in a match, or put them all in the same match like they have done before. Absolute phenomenal match.
Cool.
Physical. Go on.
No, you go on. Physical, carry on.
Physical. It was hard hitting. It was what I would call the old school British strong style of wrestling.
Cool.
Everything looked like it was sold to hair.
Yeah. And Dave Meltzer, give this a rating. What would your rating be, Dan? It sounds like you put the match over a lot.
Yeah, I'd probably give that myself a good 4 stars again. Little bit lacking on terms of the long-term storytelling because Drew pretty much came back a couple of weeks ago and was straight in a title match. But apart from that, yeah, I'd probably give it a good solid 4.
Rock and roll. Well, Dave Meltzer also gave it a 4 stars. It looks like you're in tune with Dave Meltzer. Maybe you can be the Meltzer of the Gimme a Hull Yeah podcast, right?
Yeah, I could be.
Let's go into the next match. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka versus Bianca Belair. What rating would you give that, Dan? And how was the match? Try not to include the cash-in either.
Oh, no. The match itself, I thought it felt very... I don't know if it was me or if it was a general consensus that the match actually felt a bit off. Because you had Charlotte trying to be the babyface when I don't think she works as a babyface, so that made it feel a bit off for me. You had Bianca sort of being a bit of a tweener. And again, I don't think that really works because she's been very sort of teasing a heel turn. And then Asuka being the heel in the match. I absolutely love Asuka, so I just want Asuka to win pretty much everything. Out of the 3 in the match, Asuka was the one that I did think should have won the title and kept hold of it. The match itself, again, there was a lot of good action. There was a couple of spots that completely missed from Charlotte and Asuka. Charlotte, I think, did the top rope moonsault to the outside, completely missed Bianca.
Ouch.
And then, Asuka, I think, did something from the top. I don't know if it was Asuka or Bianca that was meant to receive it, but again, I think there was almost a foot apart. But the move itself was still sold. It wasn't. It was a couple of little spots like that just took the match down a little bit, and the characters just felt on the wrong position in the match. Heels, face, and the tweeners all could have done a bit of a change up, and I think it would have felt a lot smoother of a match.
Okay, cool. What would your star rating for it have been, Dan?
I'd probably give that 2 3/4 because the action itself was good apart from a couple of missed spots. The story itself was good up to a point, but the characters just didn't feel right in their positions.
Meltzer thought it was better than that. Meltzer give it a 3.5 stars. Obviously, taking the talent of the women into account for sure in that.
Yeah, I mean, I know all 3 people in the match can put on a great match. I just don't think they did it for that match.
Rock and roll. And the last one to talk about, Dan, is Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. How is that, brother?
Again, these two have great chemistry with them being family. I enjoyed the match itself. I enjoyed the full sort of start to finish of it. The story is inbuilt as it has been for the past 3 years. And I think the match itself, I don't think there could have been many improvements to the match apart from what did happen.
Mm-hmm.
If we took on the ending of the match, I reckon that could have been 4.5, 4.75. But with the story of Jimmy returning, that just really threw a spanner in the works. And I think that took away from the match overall. So
Really?
To me, that would drop it down to a 4-star.
Wow. Meltzer doesn't agree with you. Meltzer give it a much lower rating, saying it was a 2.75 star match. Not necessarily. I think it's partly that Roman structure to a match. I think
it's too formulaic.
It's very formulaic, and I think people are starting to see through it with it being these big main event matches in pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Cool, rock and roll. Well, we're going to talk more about Roman Reigns and the Usos coming up soon, Dan. But for right now, we're going to move on. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Guys, a lot of this show, we're just throwing stuff out there. We're just testing stuff. We're just trying to chat. Whatever you like, whatever you don't like, do let us know. We're going to go through your comments about the SummerSlam section and see what you guys thought about it. Dale says, "Give me who yeah. Did you check out Stash Club Wrestling? I haven't had a chance to yet, Dale. Nice to see you, brother."
I do follow them on TikTok. They are quite good. They do a lot of trivia questions with the sort of host of the show, which if we had 3 people on, you could have a host and then 2 people sort of battling it out, which I think would be quite fun.
Could be. We might look at that. I mean, the first one we tried to do, and then we didn't realize we could skip around and stuff like that. But we'll get there, guys. There's loads of potential for this series, and it's a series for you guys. Hi, Dale. Hi. MMA rules was cool, but a worked UFC match just can't work.
Nope.
I think people wanted to see wrestling, Dan, not an MMA match.
Yeah,
or a fake MMA match.
I mean, I know that in Japan it was quite a big thing to do worked at UFC matches, but I just don't think that the Western audience would really enjoy them. You either have something like a no holds barred match or a fight pit style match where you know it's scripted.
It can be worked,
but you can make it look legitimate.
Yeah,
but don't say it's an MMA rules match and then have the match stopped for blood or for an injury.
Yeah, well, Norma mentioned that. He said the ref stopped to fight briefly for Shayna to be checked when she appeared hurt. They don't do that in MMA. If a person is hurt, they lose the fight. But Shayna couldn't lose the fight because it was scripted.
Yep.
Ronda was why it was 1 star. Really? Was it Ronda, the performer, that hurt it?
I think that she's got to the point where she's not that bothered about performing for WWE at the minute, and I think she just wants to get out. And
crazy because she was so good at the start.
Yeah, the first year, I think, is one of the best sort of debut years that anyone has ever had. Maybe Kurt Angle's was better.
Yeah,
but
I agree. It was amazing.
Yeah, they both had a phenomenal first year on the shows, and I don't think you could have done anything better for either of them. But Ronda, I think, when the crowd turned on her, I think she was like, F you to everyone. I'm going to do what I want to do, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, right. Fair enough, man. By the way, the Brock Cody ending was not meant to happen. Brock went in for himself.
Yeah, so after the match itself, with Cody winning, Brock basically went kind of off script and did a big sign of respect by shaking Cody's hand, giving him a sort of hug and sort of raising his hand up for the crowd as well.
which doesn't happen a lot. And apparently Brock was hurt during that match as well, I believe.
Yeah, supposedly. I don't know if it was rib injury.
Right.
But yeah, he did supposedly take a nasty bit of injury and worked through a good percentage of the match with some pain.
Nasty, man. Nasty. Guys, I've been up since 60, man. If I duck, absolutely not, man. It's all
Yes,
good.
we do, man. You're supposed to be here.
Watch it tomorrow. Watch it, another time. We're going to put up segments of these, so if you just want to watch a segment, that's all cool. We're just trying something new on the channel. Jack, it's okay. Cheers. I know it won't happen, but would love to see Jay versus Omega in AEW, said Zach Smith. Wow.
Yeah. I think I would prefer that over Roman versus Omega.
Nah, I want to see Roman versus Omega. That'd be miles better.
No.
Yeah. It'd be,
I think,
formulaic mess of Roman.
I know, and that's why it'd be a mess. That's why I wouldn't enjoy it. I think Jay can put on high spots. I think he can do a lot of good stuff. And I think that Jay and Omega have got very similar overall styles, whereas Roman is just not going to work well with an Omega style character.
There we go. Sassy saying hello to Zach over on the Facebook. Mark says, confirms that it was a rib injury and saw Pride for ripping his shorts.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He fully ripped the crotch on his shorts, so you almost saw Little Brock.
Little Brock? No, steroids, yeah, probably right. AEW did an MMA match with Jack Swagger and Wardlow. Yeah, and it was garbage. Yeah, I agree, Dale. I agree, man. Yeah, I remember it. It was a main event match as well, I think, in the COVID era AEW. Yeah, it was Swagger in a main event. Need you say more? Rock and roll. Well, that's it for our SummerSlam section. Should we move straight on to talk about someone dark? Should I turn the lights out?
Oh no! If we're talking about what's just happened at SummerSlam and Jane Roman, I thought we would go straight on with that story.
I had my lights out and everything. I was ready for gimmick.
Okay.
Okay, no, we can do it. We can do it.
I was gonna say if we're gonna do all that, that's about as dark as I can go.
Oh, spooky. All right, well, we're still going to talk about Bray Wyatt, and we're going to be real spooky about it. But yeah, that's fine then, man. Let's talk about what you wanted to talk about on this stream, Dan. Let's talk about the Usos and Roman Reigns. And where are we going from here, Dan? You tell us about it, brother.
So this is one thing that I was super confused by, and that's what took the match down a little bit for me in terms of the grand scheme of things. You've had Roman Reigns pretty much gaslighting every member of the Usos and the Usos sort of family in general for the past 3 years. So if that's the case, and Roman has basically put you against your own flesh and blood and brother, why would then you come back from an injury and then help this person out?
Has anything been explained on WWE TV about it since?
So on SmackDown on Friday, it was basically, I did it because I love you. Which is such a cop-out.
It is a real cop-out.
Yeah.
Why would he do it if he loved him?
No idea. Surely, if you loved him, you would want to help this person overcome this gaslighting SOB and take him down a peg or two by making him lose the match or lose the title.
Yeah.
That surely would be the logical part of the story. But to have him be taken out of the match and then say, yeah, I did it because I love you, it just, to me, is completely backwards.
Wow. So you feel that this is, do you feel that, how much do you feel this has derailed the story of the bloodline? And do you think they can get back on track?
I think that if they can pull it back, Triple H has got something bigger in mind. But to me, if you're going to do brother versus brother, it's a WrestleMania main event. It's not a Payback or a Royal Rumble main event. You've got such a long way to go until WrestleMania 40 next year that between now and then, you've got 8 months, 9 months, not far off, to keep them apart.
So what's the story going up to WrestleMania then? If that's the because I'd assume the Bloodline are getting back together in some sort. I would assume that Jimmy's going to stay and Jay will be doing his own thing for a bit. I don't know.
No.
Like you say, Triple H has done well with his story. Paul Heyman, who's clearly been in charge of steering it in the right direction, or could it be that it's gone on too long, Dan? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Nomad's just put the comment in. I did it because I love you was the very worst. I guess with all the good work, they have done this storyline. They get to drop one's head. Yeah, they've dropped the dose on it. It's been the one part of this story that just hasn't made sense.
So how do you bring it back?
If it was me booking it from now,
yeah,
after what's happened, there is a great photo or a great part of the match itself where I think Jimmy has revealed himself, and you'll look behind Jimmy, and you've got Paul Heyman stood there looking quite smug.
Okay.
I think that would be the only saving grace, is if you could run with that part and say, I brought Jimmy back because I've said to him we're going to make him the new tribal chief, and then basically have Jimmy in Jay's place, Jay in Jimmy's place, from what we had about 4 or 5 months ago, when Jimmy was officially kicked out of the Bloodline first.
Right, maybe.
That's the only way that I think it could possibly work. Keep it that way, and then you could have Solo going up against Jay, like we have been doing, Jimmy going up against Jay, but you have Paul Heyman, puppet master extraordinaire, in the background, pouring everything together to then end up with brother versus brother at WrestleMania. But I think it's too early to start that story and having them feuding as of right now. I think you've got to keep them apart.
Well, hasn't Rikishi, didn't he put something? Was he on a podcast or something? And he said that he's reffing a match at Payback between Jimmy and Jay.
I think that was what was happening, but I don't know if it'll happen if it's been leaked or if he's said something inadvertently.
I mean, I think he said something inadvertently and then went, oh, no, I meant a different Payback.
Yeah.
Whoops-a-daisy, Stinkface is on him. I think the interesting thing about what they're doing here, though, potentially, is they're continuing the Bloodline story without Roman for a bit.
Yeah.
So by having it be Jimmy and Jay, who are now feuding, they're continuing the Bloodline story, but are able to give Roman that break because he's not going to be on all of the pay-per-views. However, it still means that the Bloodline story is a major part of them pay-per-views. So maybe that could be the reason why. I'm not saying it was the right way to do it as this whole, let's shock people. I think the interesting thing about shock, Dan, in wrestling is sometimes shock can be is okay to be something that we absolutely see coming. We saw Sami Zayn being turned on we saw Sami Zayn turning on Roman at Royal Rumble, but that was okay. It told the right story. You don't just have to surprise us with these sort of offshoots in different directions, which all wrestling companies are guilty of at times.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I've just found the photo that I mentioned a minute ago.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna bring that
That's
one
all
up.
good, man. That's all good. So yeah, that's where I think it could be going, but we'll have to see. Todd is in the chat. Hey Todd, how you doing? Extra content today. It's our new thing. Check it out and hang out with us while Dan gets this new photo up. Welcome.
There we
Todd,
go. So you'll look at Paul Heyman there. It looks like he knows what's going on and he's been a puppet master.
It tells a story, doesn't it? Especially with the what would they be called? Reefs? Not reefs. Flowers?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I can't think of the name of them. That he's like holding in his hands as well. It looks like them strings that he's potentially pulling on Jimmy still.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
I
really
think
exciting.
that's one thing where if it's going to happen and it's going to be a story that gets over, you'll need Paul Heyman to be the one that controls it, because everyone knows how good of a wrestling man he is. So play into that character. He controlled ECW for long enough. He made Brock Lesnar beat the streak.
Yeah.
So people believe that he is a wrestling genius. Like William Regal, you'll play into that character as much as you can, because it'll give it legitimacy so easily. And that's what we care about.
What's the outcome for Roman then at the end of all this?
To me, I think Roman disappears for a little while. Not completely, maybe sort of just as a video package, video promo, until after Backlash, because I think there is another Saudi show at some point later this year. Not very far away either. So yeah, you've got Payback, and then I think you've got Fastlane, Survivor Series.
And surely you do the Bloodline versus Judgment Day for Survivor Series.
You'd think, but I don't know if people would really care about it that much, because there's no story built in.
Okay. Well, it's just because the two of the hottest acts at the minute. You're right, though, man. You're right. If there's no story, what's the point?
Yeah, we talked about it in the first sort of segment with the women's division.
Interesting, man. Let's get to some of the comments that people wrote about the Bloodline angle. Mark was excited for me to go full heel when we was talking about Bray Wyatt, but it never came off. Ha ha ha! Even more heel. Hey, Norma, Sassy, Anthony is heel. He certainly was going to be. By the way, they said no one would interfere. Then Jimmy and Solo interferes. Make that make sense? Who said no one would interfere? Is it because interference is all that ever happens in the Roman Reigns matches? Like you say, it's become very formulaic. Yeah. Jimmy's, we mentioned Norma's comment. Thank you so much, Norma. Well, I think the brother's lame excuse was he did it. I want his brother to end up like Roman, which was crazy. And they wanted the brothers to fight in Philly because it's the city of brotherly love. Right. Where they will be reunited as a team. And so is Philly where Payback's happening?
No, Philly is where WrestleMania is next year.
Oh, so you think they'll get back City of Brotherly Love? That's interesting, man. That's not a terrible angle. You could play this off till Mania.
You could, but it'd be hard work, I think.
I think it might be as well. I don't know. I don't know what legend
so,
is.
Mark has just been an absolute legend and shared us into the Rikishi photo where he says, "Come meet Rikishi before we referees at Payback."
Fail! That's hilarious.
Thank you very much for that one, Mark.
Thanks, Mark, man. Thanks, Mark. Rikishi brings them together, says Sassy. That would be a quick way of dealing with the story if you're dealing with it at the thing that Rikishi's not refereeing at Payback.
No.
He posted a poster. Thank you so much for sharing us with it, Mark. He also said he's not doing it now. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. He's knackered. He's messed up. He's messed up. If they did bring Rikishi back, please let him give Heyman a world-class mega stig face.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be a great moment. Everyone would
seen
love
the
that.
walrus get that in his face.
Yes, no more. The Rikishi thing in your DM. Oh, nice one. Thank you. November the 4th is the Saudi show. So Roman will be part of that, which is after Survivor Series, I assume.
Yeah.
I think Jay said it. Philly is Mania 40. He since deleted it and took out the ref line. Well, of course he is, because he got a call from Mark Carano, who no longer works for the company because he's a raging sex offender, and yeah, well, one of many. Dan, don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah.
The owner of the company is still a raging sex offender, and then he was like, "Yeah, let's. Can you take that down, please?" That's what happened. Right, before we talk about Bray Wyatt, I want a break, Dan. I want to have a break. I want to play some trivia. Oh no, actually, let's go for the best match at SummerSlam. Let's see what people voted for. We had 10 votes, and this is surprising, actually. Very surprising. Ricochet versus Logan Paul was one of the winners, as well as Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, both getting 30% of the vote, with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar and Gunther and Drew McIntyre getting 20% of the vote. I put them lists based on the ratings that Dave Meltzer gave them. Interesting to see what the Hulkamaniacs thought of that, though, for sure, and what they thought was the best match. A really wide split there.
Yeah, there was so much quality on that show. It just made everything really enjoyable. Because there's been times where we've sat and watched shows and it's felt quite sluggish.
Yeah.
And there's been no sort of fluidity to the show. But Logan Paul, Ricochet, Cody and Brock, Gunther and Drew, Seth and Balor, any little number of tweaks could have put that into 5-star category for a lot of people. And to say that WWE had 4 shows of that caliber was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Well, there we go, man. That's good. And I need to watch it. And, I did enjoy the Logan Paul Ricochet match. I was with the kids last week, so they wanted to see the Logan Paul match because it's Logan Paul, which is really interesting as a dynamic as well, man. The kids love Logan Paul. They want to watch his matches.
He does exactly what he says on the tin, and that's viewers.
Yeah.
Engagement. That is what the whole point of him and Ricochet was for me.
Oh, I've just lost the internet a bit. Sorry, say that again, Dan.
Logan Paul brings in viewers and he brings in numbers. That's the whole point of him for me.
The kids love him. So I'm thinking we play a quiz, Dan, and I want to do an AEW quiz because you know what? I didn't do very well on that WWE, but that's because I don't watch WWE, brother.
So while you're doing that, I'll let you do a few comments because I'm just going to go grab a quick drink.
Oh, Dan is going to grab a quick drink.
I've been here 2 hours and I haven't actually had a drink.
That's all good. Are you still happy to carry on, Dan?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I just need a drink.
That's all good, man. That's all good. You go for a drink.
I shall see you in a sec.
I'm going for a smoke next time we do a Nipples game. No, I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's just like a place for us to hang out, talk a bit of wrestling. If there's any questions you have, I don't know if that question thing is set up right. What is it? It's supposed to be a Q&A. I don't know how we see what's in the box. Basically, at the end of the show, we're doing some big questions. We've said to a few of you to bring them questions back up as major talking points because I want to release parts of this as other videos. So that if you can't catch it live on a Sunday, you can watch sort of the highlights. You can watch that conversation that we just had about the Bloodline, conversations that we had earlier on about AEW's women division, or the SummerSlam ratings and stuff like that. You can watch various sections throughout the week if you'd rather just watch that. But also, we want to do questions. And another thing we want to do is offer our members a little something. So we've been really not offering the members enough as far as I'm concerned, and you guys help support the channel. You pay for the channel, you help pay for our StreamYards, which we're so grateful for. And so if the members want to join us on video, they absolutely can. Members can join in on a video chat, but we will also, that doesn't mean that if you just have to be a member to do a video question, stuff like that. We're also next week, I think, going to do it so that you guys can submit video questions. So if anyone's got a video question, they can absolutely submit it and we will play it and then answer the question at the end of the segment. So just a way to sort of give back to you guys a bit, give you a bit of screen time so that you can show people what you're engaging with yourselves, and stuff like that. I just thought it'd be a real nice way to create some content, but create some content around our community. So if you are interested in either of them, keep an eye out on the community polls. We will also be mentioning it during the shows as well. And yeah, man, part of the reason for this, Todd, is because we don't get a chance to just talk during the streams. We're constantly so busy, watching the show and trying to sort of get through comments. But this is just an opportunity to chill out, man. Just a bit of chill out time and with a bit of structure as well. Logan Paul was banned. Oh, Survivor Series is November the 25th. That's very late, man. That's very late this year. Logan Paul was banned by his brother for bringing Prime to his boxing event. Oh, wow. That's got to be a gimmick, right? I'm still amazed Logan Paul is as good as he is, by the way. Yeah, man, I agree. I think he's very good. I think he's very good. I do love this extra time, but we love being with you, man. It is evident Logan is working on his wrestling still. Yeah, it certainly is. Wrestling. He's doing well, man. I mean, we couldn't do what Logan Paul is doing. It's not a gimmick. It's legit. It absolutely happened. Really? He got banned by his brother for bringing Prime. That's hilarious.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Jesus. Why does his brother not like Prime? I thought he'd be all in on it.
He probably does, but he'd probably want Logan to throw extra money into the purse, so it'd basically be giving his brother money.
Yeah.
To help advertise Prime.
Yeah, I thought he would. I tell you what, man. The lad had a load of Prime this week because Prime's made its way to the UK. You can finally get it without paying £500 a bottle. So it's in most Asda's now, and it's in a lot
of the supermarkets.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been buying him a couple of Primes because I brought him back some from America, and he loves them. I don't get it. They all taste like ass, man. They taste
Some of them taste like medicine.
It's like artificial flavorings. It's just
not good.
Hands up if you like Prime in chat. Is there anyone that actually likes Prime? I mean, yeah, maybe not. Mark says, by the way, there won't be a December pay-per-view, hence Survivor Series is late. Well,
Makes
there you go, man. There you go. Dan, what's our next topic of conversation, brother? I'll give you a clue.
That's as dark as I can go.
Hey, man. It's time to talk about the man. It's time to talk about the man. Are you making it creepy? Oh, underlighting. Oh, spooky. Let's talk about Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt report out this week. It was a worrying report, to be perfectly honest. An illness that sidelined Bray Wyatt for most of 2023 was apparently life-threatening. No details have come out about the illness, which is fair enough. It's his complete prerogative to reveal that himself or not.
Yeah.
But Fightful Select has reported that that he's improved significantly. So we may be getting Bray Wyatt back. There was drop plans from WrestleMania 39, which included Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt, as we all expected. But yeah, Bray is moving closer to coming back. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I've read a report that it was rumored to be returning sometime in September, all being well. Same as everything, we want people to come back when they are good and ready. We don't want rushed because of injury, because of health scares or anything like that. We want people to come back when they're 100% ready to go, ready to put on good shows, rather than come back, get injured, come back well before you're ready, because it's not good for you. It's not good for the company. It's not good for the product.
Of course, man. People's health are the most important thing. And it sounds like he was hospitalized as well at one point. So
yeah, it was supposedly life-threatening, which is, if it's life-threatening, then you do not want to be rushing anything whatsoever.
Absolutely. And it makes sense why the Bray story was halted in the way that it had to be. You can't do anything about that. Now, I wasn't engaged in the Bray story anyway prior to
No.
him leaving, and I think many people had issues with the Bray Wyatt booking. So, how would you like to see Bray Wyatt make his return?
In all honesty, I would like to see him go back to the original Bray Wyatt character.
Oh, going to the original Bray Wyatt character, are we, Dan?
No Firefly Funhouse, no Fiend. I would like to go back to the camp leader that had Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and go to that character because to me, that was a lot more engaging.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of people that love the Fiend and the Bray Wyatt character that he is now. One of them on our channel.
Not talking about GAHY there, Dan.
Oh no, I wouldn't say anything negative about his favourite performer at the minute.
Of all time. Yeah, go on.
But I think that character, I think it could in a way turn into a Three Faces of Foley style character, which I think could be cool. I don't get me wrong, I think that would be quite enjoyable. But there has been stuff teased online that we was meant to have Eric Young. We was meant to have, I think it was Karrion Kross.
Yeah, there was that as some sort of Wyatt 6, which I think would have been
Yeah.
even more garbage than what we had, to be perfectly honest. I
Yeah.
hate the idea of Wyatt 6. Everyone talks about the Wyatt 6 being something that's going to save Bray Wyatt. And here's the problem with the Wyatt 6, right? For that to work, you have to have a very definable Bray Wyatt. And guess what we do not have right now?
A definable Bray Wyatt.
A definable Bray Wyatt. So why would you go introducing more people? It's the issue that I said before, like the AEW's women's division. There's no point in adding more people. You need to fix what you've got, you know?
Yeah. You've got the performers there. Do something with them before anything else.
Absolutely. I think the Howdy character was confusing the Bray thing, and because he was getting involved in other things like Alexa Bliss and you know, after the diving elbow on LA Knight, going into the Alexa Bliss match and laughing and costing Alexa Bliss, it was just garbage, man. It's not my style of wrestling.
We're still waiting for a Uncle Howdy explanation. We still haven't got that.
No.
And that was from what, Royal Rumble?
Do you think without Bray Wyatt, because obviously they couldn't use Bray Wyatt because he was dealing with an illness, and we are completely respectful of that, do you think they should have continued the Uncle Howdy storyline without Wyatt?
I don't know. I don't think it would work. I think it could have been very similar to like Kane and The Undertaker. If Undertaker disappeared after Kane debuted, where would you go with Kane to start with? You need a solid feud to legitimize your character.
But maybe you establish him as a character that never happened.
So, if that's the case, what would you have done with Uncle Howdy after he's been introduced? Bray Wyatt disappears. What would you do with Uncle Howdy from that point?
I would have had him feud with LA Knight to start off with. I would have moved him straight into LA Knight and told a story where LA Knight was frustrated with Howdy for costing him the event, but couldn't get to him, and says that he's an even worse gimmick than Bray Wyatt is, and do the sort of the standoff stuff that LA Knight was doing so well, which was, I'm not afraid of your gimmick, to LA Knight, but have him impact LA Knight in a more severe way. And then from that, you've established Uncle Howdy, and you can have him move on to anything.
But again, I still think that if you're going to do that feud, you still need Bray Wyatt there.
Okay.
In some fashion. Because what is the point of Uncle Howdy? He's coming. We don't know why he's there, what he's doing. The whole point of the character, why he's been helping Uncle Bray Wyatt and then attacking Bray and stuff like that. There's been no definitive end to that story to then start the next feud. That's where I had the issue with him.
Are people going to be interested to jump back onto that again? Or are you saying get rid of Uncle Howdy completely?
I'm thinking if you want to know the Uncle Howdy story, you'd have to rebuild the full story itself from scratch. You can still do the original story you was going to do, but you can't restart the story now. Or if Bray Wyatt showed up on Raw, you couldn't then go next week, this is Uncle Howdy, the week after, this is why he's here. I think you'd have to completely reinvent that story and get fans invested to start with. Like they did with the QR codes.
I think we'll get a QR code return.
Yeah. I think that was one of the best tools that we've seen used by WWE in a hell of a long while.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was so much engagement from that.
Yes.
It created intrigue, but this is where I think you had the same problem as I did. The intrigue took too long to get going.
The issue I had with the whole White Rabbit thing is it led to nothing apart from Wyatt's return. And I have no problem with that, but like you're giving all these White Rabbit clues and all this sort of Jefferson Airplane stuff and all this fantastic stuff, but how did it relate to Wyatt? It didn't.
No.
And that's an issue, you know.
Yeah.
And also the QR code in terms of the character of Bray Wyatt. I don't necessarily think a QR code is the way to go about it. So what we're talking about is transmedia narrative right now. And we're talking about engaging people through one form of media, which in this case is TV, and getting them to go and explore different things like social media and other things to find clues and even real world stuff. It's transmedia narrative, which is a really cool storytelling device. However, I don't feel that the character of Bray Wyatt or the White Rabbit or anything leading up to it would have done that through QR codes. Could have done it through writing on a wooden chair a message that led you to a website in a knife or something like that. That's how the QR code didn't work for me. However, it did engage multiple people, and so it has to be seen as a success in terms of marketing for WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just having a quick look.
Oh.
We got WrestleMania 37, Randy Orton defeating The Fiend. That was in 2021. Yep, we know.
Yeah.
And then after that, he returned. When was it? Extreme Rules 2022.
It was Extreme Rules. Yes, that's right.
And it took all the way until the end of January to actually get a match out of him. That was 3-4 months of promos and I say stories. There was promos that didn't actually do anything for the character.
That's the problem.
And it didn't lead anywhere. It took too long.
I don't think it's a problem that the match is 4 months apart. It's the fact that the story didn't move in an engaging way that people got to the point. You can not have a match for 4 months easily. Brock Lesnar does it all the time, and you can still.
Roman's done it regularly.
Roman does it regularly, but is still able to build that story. You make a great point. The bloodline stuff is absolutely the stuff that's working at the minute, and not having matches. So you can absolutely do that. The problem was that the story wasn't as engaging as I think people wanted it to be. And then, as I've always said with Wyatt, one of the biggest problems is his matches are a huge letdown. Yeah. They always are. So I can't name a good Wyatt match. Maybe the Danielson one, but I mean, you're wrestling Bryan Danielson, for God's sake. He's the modern day Shawn Michaels. He can make a broom look good. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, this is where you're talking about going months without a match. WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns defeats Cody Rhodes for the title.
Yeah.
The next time that title was on the line on a TV or pay-per-view match was SummerSlam 4 months later.
But they're able to tell an interesting story. Yeah. And a story that hits the right beats.
And I don't think that Bray's been able to do that at any point in his career the Firefly Funhouse was good fun,
Mm?
and it led into a fun match with John Cena at WrestleMania.
Hmm.
But the new character with The Fiend and Uncle Howdy, I don't think has worked from the get-go.
No, I didn't.
Because it's been too long of a story.
Yeah, you needed beats. I think the Firefly Funhouse thing was really fun because it was engaging content every week, so you could laugh at it or you could look into it. And the issue with that is where they were putting red flags. So they were putting stuff like Liv Morgan's going to be the new
Sister Abigail,
and it never was, and all that sort of stuff. Like, don't fake out fans. You don't need to do that, you know.
No.
That's just Vince laughing from somewhere, or Bruce Pritchard, who I think was handling a lot of the Finn storytelling, laughing in the background, you know. And actually, you treat your fans with more respect than that, you know. You don't need to do that, in my opinion. So Bray comes back. Why do we build to Bray and Cody at Mania, Dan?
You do. You build to Cody and Roman. Finish the story.
No, what story? The story's been finished. I'm putting my light back on.
Okay.
I'm out of the darkness. Mate, no, Cody and Bray is perfect for Mania, man.
I think that's more Royal Rumble.
Oh, you don't blow it on Rumble. Cody'd sell it so well.
It would, but if you're going to do... look at it this way. Who do you have to take the titles off Roman?
I don't know, but I think you do Rock and Roman at Mania.
You can't guarantee you get in the Rock.
I think you've got more chance.
Go on.
You've got more chance now than ever because no films are being made, Dan.
Not right now, but
there's a writer's strike.
8 months down the line, he'll probably have a filming schedule.
I don't know that he will. Honestly, this writer's strike, the last one went on for a year or two.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
This one's been going on, and they've also included actors into this as well, into this writer's strike. So
you know? Again, I get back to exactly the same point.
Mm-hmm.
If you do Rock and Roman at Mania, are you seriously going to put The Rock over?
No, I don't think you are, but I think it's a bigger moment for...
Again, if you're not going to put The Rock over, who is taking them titles off Roman?
I still don't think Cody's doing it.
So instead of him, who instead?
I don't know. Montez Ford.
There isn't anyone.
Gunther.
That is. Gunther's probably the person behind Cody for me.
Yeah, I'd love Gunther second. There's people, man. You can do it. The time's there to do it. Yeah. Is what I'm saying. It doesn't just have to be Cody. And once Cody wins the titles, what does he do? Actually, him losing at Mania was the right thing to do because it's give us this big Brock feud, and Cody is hotter than ever coming off this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been a great story with the title, but it doesn't need the title.
No.
I don't think that, apart from Gunther and then Cody, I don't think there's anyone on any brand, even in NXT, that you could build up to be legitimate for WrestleMania 40. Maybe even 41. There isn't anyone that you could build on such a hot streak.
You could do Roman and Gunther. You could do Roman and Drew again. You know, there's people you can do.
There's people, but again, it's making the legitimate main event feel. You went into WrestleMania this year. That many people.
Mate, you could do Roman and Solo. You could do Roman and Solo. You just got to tell that story right.
You've got to tell it right, but I still don't think it will ever feel legitimate.
Lights out for Bray. Let's get people's comments about Bray because I've just steered this away from the Bray thing. I'm sorry. Lights out for Bray. The Fiend is here. Lol, certainly is. I'm pretty sure it was a mental illness and it will be longer than they say. I'm not sure. It did say he was hospitalized. Obviously, he can be hospitalized for mental illness, but they've had no reports on what it is, respecting his privacy, which I think is the right way to be. I think they need to respect Bray's privacy about this for sure.
Yeah.
Todd does love the cult leader with a few followers. Absolutely, some butterflies on this
That's
shirt.
so much better of a character.
Yeah, I
So-
like that as a character.
Little question for you then. Can you
Go on.
remember the original cult leader gimmick?
Yes, it was Dave Spivey,
Who went by
Waylon Mercy.
Waylon Mercy? Seeing if you
Yeah.
got there.
Yeah. Oh
And
no, I
again,
give you
that was a character well ahead of its time.
Of course it was. Yeah.
And I think Bray Wyatt.
Is still alive? It was
I
Dave
think
Spivey
so.
that did Waylon Mercy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool to do something with him?
It
Like-
could be, yeah.
So he was born in 1952. His age
mean-
is.
He hasn't wrestled
70.
since 95.
Oh, he doesn't need to wrestle. He just needs to come in and do something, doesn't he?
He
Or
last
has he got-
defeated Bob Holly.
Nice. In 1995, nice. Oh, he voiced Mercy the Buzzard in the Firefly Funhouse. I didn't know
Yeah.
he did that. I know that because it was Waylon the Buzzard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or Mercy the Buzzard. Or something.
Mercy the Buzzard.
Cool. Okay. It'd be cool to just acknowledge it a bit more. I get that that's a cool little Easter egg, and I never knew that actually until just looking that up now.
Yeah.
I hope Howdy is revealed to be Bo Dallas, and they bring out the fact that the real life brothers, true Wyatt family, no more Firefly, keep the supernatural to a minimal, stick with creepy.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like. That's what I'd like, man. Get rid of the sort of supernatural and stick with the creepy, because you don't book yourself into holes then, and I feel that's what they do when they're going to supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Undertaker, creepy supernatural style gimmick didn't work with the title.
No.
Bray Wyatt didn't work with the title. It's not the motivation for the characters, so it doesn't make any sense.
That's right. That's right.
So-
Their character should be about impacting people, not necessarily going for gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, how about Uncle Howdy brainwashed Alexa Bliss and a few of the divas to mess up the women's division more? That's not bad.
I don't think you should be affecting the women's division because I think they're on a hot streak, and you think you should be trying to mess it up.
But that's what he was doing anyway, and then that was just dropped as well. I suppose with Alexa Bliss getting pregnant as well, that obviously.
Yeah.
Bray should be a manager or just a cult leader, not a wrestler.
I think that could be a very cool idea because I would quite like to see Paul Heyman against Bray Wyatt on the mic.
Yes, it's not a bad idea and then you get Bray to wrestle even less. So when he does wrestle, you just have
It
him.
means something.
You have him squash people and use that sort of limited moveset that I'm not having a go at Bray here. I don't think it's Bray's talent that gives him a limited moveset. WWE decide what moves you're allowed to do and aren't do. And that's why I really wanted to see Bray Wyatt in New Japan, because we could see a different side of Bray, the wrestling side of Bray. We just never got it. And but yeah, I give him that one match every year and have him booked strong, instead of don't do the neck snapping move. God, I hate that move.
Yeah.
I hate it when anyone does it. It has to be Cody to beat Roman at WrestleMania 4 at Philly, says Todd Johnson. The city of brotherly love. You want Cody to go? I mean, surely that's the Usos, right?
Going over.
I don't know.
Okay.
All of you are saying, and this is what annoys me. All of you are saying, and I wish everyone else was here to argue with me. You're all saying that Cody should finish his story. Actually, Cody doesn't have as much story with Roman Reigns as Sami Zayn or Jey Uso at the moment. So shouldn't they be the ones to take the title?
I agree with the story part.
Cody's story is all about him. That's it.
No, Cody's story is about the world title. Or the
Exactly.
WWE title.
But that's got nothing to do with the bloodline.
It's got nothing to do with the bloodline, but it's got everything to do with Roman Reigns.
Mm.
So de facto, bloodline.
I just think it's a bit weak.
So I'm just going to double check a couple of little things.
Okay. Bray should break up Judgment Day. There's a really cool play with Judgment Day. That'd be really good.
Yeah. So I've just literally double checked something off because I sort of have been thinking about it for a little while, but I also read, I think it was an article somewhere. I can't remember for the life of me where it was. So the WrestleMania before a number ending in 0, so WrestleMania 9, 19, and I think 29 as well.
Go on.
What happened in the main event?
I don't know.
But WrestleMania 9, you had technically the heel win the main event match. Yokozuna defeating Bret Hart.
Okay.
WrestleMania 29, you had technically John Cena as the heel.
John Cena was never a heel. This is reaching.
No, I haven't finished it yet.
Go on.
Against The Rock. The Rock was obviously the huge babyface, so it meant by powers of elimination, Cena was, I know he was the face of the match, but he was still more of the heel in the match than The Rock was.
Yeah.
So you'll go the year after that, WrestleMania 10. What happened in the main event? Bret Hart, massive babyface, wins the match.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 20, we don't speak about it, but Chris Benoit, massive babyface, wins the match. WrestleMania 30.
Cena, go on.
No, I haven't finished yet. I'm building up to the sort of final point. WrestleMania 30, you had the Daniel Bryan storyline. Massive babyface winning the match. WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns, the heel, wins the match. WrestleMania 40, sorry. Cody, massive babyface, wins the match. It seems that the number ended in 9, the heel wins. WrestleMania the year after, the babyface wins. And I think that is basically what they have done. Because you had Yokozuna win 9, WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart babyface. WrestleMania 29, I can't remember 19 off the top of my head. I think that was Triple H beating Booker T.
I don't know.
WrestleMania 19, I think that was that one. Oh no, that was Brock Lesnar, heel, defeating Kurt Angle, babyface. And then the year after, the face won the main event match at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 29, heel wins. WrestleMania 30, babyface wins. WrestleMania 39, heel wins. WrestleMania 40, babyface wins. And that seems to have been the logic that's happened. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but that to me...
Interesting. So you're saying Roman's turning babyface for WrestleMania 40?
I mean, it could work, but I don't see it happening. I still think Cody is winning WrestleMania 40 as the babyface because that is what's been tradition.
We shall see. I tell you now, if you're getting me to predict if Cody's going to take the title at 40 when it gets to WrestleMania, I ain't going to pick Cody.
I know you're
not. I made that mistake once. I like that idea too. Todd says, sassy. Kenny Omega beats Roman. Dude, there's plenty of other people from AEW that could cross over. Kenny Omega's not going to, but because it's just signed a new 4-year
deal.
Yeah, but there's plenty of people that could come over from AEW and beat Roman.
Brian Cage.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi, come over.
Yeah.
Beat Roman. You want to put a guy? It doesn't have to be in the company either. No, Cody should not beat Roman, says Sassy. I agree, Sass.
I know, but Sassy just doesn't want Roman to get beat.
It should be a bloodline member. No, she's ready for him to get beat. It just shouldn't be Cody. Cody's story is about his dad and to fulfill his dad's dream of the championship. I know, but it's weak. It's weak.
How is it weak?
Because it's not a story that involves Roman Reigns.
It's not holds a story. Title.
So that's like the fact. So can't you give him another title? Why does it matter?
You could give Roman another title, but it's not the one that it's the one that Cody wants that Roman has got.
Mate, they've diluted that story even more by creating a new bloody championship.
Yeah, but it's still
diluted it.
World Heavyweight WWE. He never held the biggest title, which is the champion of the company.
Which one's got the lineage? The World Heavyweight Champion. Which one's that? The blue one or the red one? Or the new gold black?
The one that Cody wants is the one that Roman has. That's got the lineage for his dad.
Or Seth. Cody taking it off Seth works better with storyline.
I agree with that one. Cody taking any championship off Seth wouldn't work if it's not the right title.
You don't think that? You see, I think they've mixed things up way too much to make this work at Mania 40, man. Winning championship does not have to be Roman. It could be any champion. But we're talking about lineage, but the problem is they've mixed up the lineage so much. And by doing this World Heavyweight Championship, they've messed it up even more. I don't think they're going for that, man. I really don't. Or let Priest cash in on Seth, then Cody takes him off at WrestleMania 40. There's a really good match. There's a really good win for your baby face.
Wouldn't be invested in it.
You won't be invested in Priest versus Cody. You could be.
Not storyline wise.
It depends we don't know what story they're going to tell yet with that.
I still don't think that there's any match in WWE right now bigger than Cody versus Roman. I don't think there is a bigger match.
That would leave Cody out of the bloodline business. It certainly could, no, Maya. I would love Cody to win the championship from Seth or Gunther. Cody beating Gunther for it would be massive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. It's interesting lineage and this whole Cody belt thing, because you know my feelings on it, and I'm just a bit confused by it all. But I love these debates, and that's what this show is about, baby.
But yeah, I think that the debate side of things, there's so many different ways to look at it. There's different lineages on the belts, and I think WWE have messed it up themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that without Brock Lesnar there going up against Roman, which no one wants to see for the 45th time, you'll name me a bigger draw for WrestleMania 40 in terms of a one-on-one match, the main event.
In terms of a one-on-one match, The Rock versus Roman.
But you can't guarantee The Rock. If you could guarantee The Rock, fair enough. Yeah, it's a great headline match.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Roman.
Not interested. There's no point in that match. There's no story.
But people would be interested in it.
It's
a bigger draw than It's a bigger draw than Cody versus Roman. That's what you asked for.
I don't think it is.
I think it is. I think as wrestling fans who are watching the current product, in terms of getting more eyes on the product, do you know what might be a bigger match?
Logan Paul.
Might be a bigger match? Logan Paul.
Yeah. And I'd be more into that than I would Austin. And The Rock.
Roman could lose the belt to Seth. Again, another person who's got a great shout at becoming the champion. Seth would be great.
But again, Roman's beat him numerous times. What would make this time any different?
Because Seth is the only person to get a win over this current iteration of Roman Reigns, so Seth is the one that could do it.
You mean apart from Sami Zayn and Jey Uso?
What beat Roman?
Yep.
When did it beat Roman?
So Jey beat him at Money in the Bank. Sami beat him with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but in tag teams, and they never pinned him, did they?
Both pinned Roman.
Did they? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Cool. But on the other brand, Seth versus Roman, or Rock versus Cody, and winner takes on Roman on night 2. Oh, the Rock can't do 2 nights.
No.
Dan, can we play a game?
Depends on the game.
Do you want to play a game? I've got a quiz here, but it's an AEW one, so I can actually get involved.
Okay.
Okay, so this quiz, Dan, we can... Do we work together or do we take it in turns? Let's take it in turns and see how we get. We've got 5 minutes to get these T-shirts, my brother. Each of these T-shirts are an AEW wrestler, and we have to guess them by the T-shirt. Who wants to go first, Dan, me or you?
I mean, I'll go first because I can see who that one is.
Okay, you can go first, rock and roll. Can you actually see what's on the screen?
I can just about read it, yeah.
Cool. If you need any hints on what it says on the T-shirt, just give me a shout. Let us know how this is turning out quality-wise for you as well, guys, because it's difficult to... We don't know how to do it on StreamYards, to be honest. This is part of the issue of getting this sorted. So, The rules of this trivia, Dan, is it is AEW wrestler. Buy their t-shirt. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go. You go first.
Brody Lee.
Brody Lee. Oh, yes, it was. Yes. This is the worst town I've ever been to. Right, this is me. So that was MJF, right? No,
No.
it wasn't. It was Christopher Daniels?
No.
No? Yes, it was.
SCU.
SCU. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, that's his favourite. John Moxley.
Yeah, Mox, you've got it. Apparently, I've got to type in the full name because Lee. There we go.
Yeah.
And it's not coming up. JONMOXLEY.
Just do Moxley. There you go.
Yeah, apparently so. Moxley.
They've put a H in it.
Oh, that was
easy.
MJF. There we go. That's yours. Oh God,
That one, Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros. Cool t-shirt, man.
Yep. I mean, it says it in there.
All Elite. It's the Young Bucks. There we go. Easy one.
All
one.
Delete, Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy, baby. Yeah, they need to use Matt Hardy better. There we go. Is this me or you?
You.
There we go. So that's Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Easy
Orange
one.
Cassidy.
It might be the time thing that's going to be the difficult on this one. We're at 9 through. I'm here to do Cowboy. Is this me?
Yep.
Adam Page. Needs more butterflies on there, brother. Next one.
Pac.
Oh, good one for you. It is certainly Pac.
From
nice
Newcastle.
One. Every day, perfect 10. It's Sean Spears. There we go. Your 10.
That one, I can't read it. Spanish God, Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara. Oh, mate, don't get me to spell Guevara. Oh, good guess. The Native Beast. That t-shirt is Nyla Rose, of course. There you go. Your 10. Oh,
Britt Baker.
Love that t-shirt. Like it looks like a Kiss t-shirt, man. Love it. Next up is me. Of course, it's Darby Allin. What a boring t-shirt that is.
Video.
Next one. This is you.
No idea on that one.
It says, "Never give up, never look back, keep stepping."
Wouldn't have a clue on that one.
Is it? I think I know it.
Go for it.
I think it's. Is it CM Punk? No.
No.
Let's go to the next one. Let's maybe go back to it. The Nightmare Family. Oh,
that one, Cody's.
Cody Rhodes. There we go. It's just this one. This is the last one we need to get, guys. Whose t-shirt is that? Never give up, never look back, keep stepping. I wonder if the half and half is Dustin.
Could be.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
hey, I've never seen that t-shirt. I tell you what, that's a freaking cool t-shirt.
Yeah. Sassy got it. Dustin Rhodes.
Of course, Sassy got it. Well done, Sassy. Well played. Let's have a go through here. Let's talk about t-shirts, Dan. Is there any that we particularly like? I mean, that
quite
really
like
one's classic.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's classic. It's just classic. It's easy. No, that's corny as hell, man.
Yeah.
Nah. The SCU. I'm sure I knew it was Christopher Daniels that said it. I didn't realize it wanted SCU.
That's probably a good standout one for Moxley. It's a common design now, I think.
It's all right. It's a bit corny in it. It's all right. The grenade in the box, it's fine.
Yeah.
Salt of the Earth, don't really like it.
No, it could be a lot bigger of a design, I think, for that t-shirt.
Yeah, man. The logo's a bit short, small on the t-shirt. Do you agree?
Yeah. There's so much more space to work with.
Penta and El Zero Miero.
Ray Phoenix.
And Ray Phoenix, that's the one. That's a cool shirt, man.
I like the split design. I think, again, you could probably go quite a bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. I like how they've done the colours with the green on the Ray Phoenix and then it coming out on the behind the Penta. I just wish they'd done something different with the backside of Ray Phoenix. You know, the red?
Yeah.
That doesn't correlate in the same way as the green does to the red.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I wish I had like a little pointer. Have I got oh yes,
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Look, I got a little pointer. Let me show you. Let's go to the next one. All Elite Young Bucks. Yeah, I mean it's
a Young Bucks t-shirt. You can't sort of fault any of their designs. I don't think they're always really cool.
Well, I'm not a massive fan of them sometimes, but I think that's really cool. I think that's I think it's sharp logo, baby.
Yeah.
All Delete Wrestling.
Love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? And I like the Blair on it as well. That's not just on. Yeah, it's cool. Super Bad.
Again, I think you could do a hell of a lot more with that design.
You could. And why would you want that on a t-shirt? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, classic.
Yeah, you don't need any more than that.
Nah. It looks like a coffee shop logo. That's
the
point.
I can see.
You know, I think Adam Page has some really nice merch, and I think that's really nice as well.
Yeah. Really sort of cool design. Again, the pack one that you've just brought up, again, I quite like that.
I quite like it for a face. Yeah, it's menacing. Yeah, bastard. That works if you're a fan of Sean Spear.
If you're a fan of Sean Spears, but without the 10 reference, I wouldn't have got that one.
No, I don't think I would have.
It seems a bit corny to still be relying on your WWE gimmick when you've not been with them for a couple of years.
He kind of went with that because it works.
It's the only thing that he was known for. That was the thing.
Well, yeah.
I would have gone to AW with a complete fresh character and left everything behind.
I kind of don't think. I think he kind of wants the sort of smooth road now, and I think he's just happy to just go. This worked. This. He's not getting the time he needs. So yeah. Spanish God Sammy Guevara. Don't really like the stained glass window look, to be honest.
Stained glass window look. I just don't get the reference of why.
Well, he always used to wear a panda head on his when he first came to AEW.
Yeah, you get panda head, stained glass. Where's the crossover point of that?
Well, the point is God. So because he's a Spanish god, he's a stained glass window in a chapel.
But it doesn't come across like that. That's
right.
Just sort of, it doesn't make sense for the way that I would probably look at it.
I think if you're going to do it, you need to you need to go proper with it. You need to do some sort of godly pose or something like that.
Yeah, and I can sort of something with, I mean, even wings on the back of him instead of the tiger head would make more sense.
That's a panda, by the way.
Oh, panda, sorry.
Correct you on the old animal front. The Native Beast, Nyla Rose. I'm not a fan.
No, I like the background, sort of the red and the black squares. But again, you could do so much more with it. Yeah, the font is cool.
The font's about all I like, isn't it? You know what I really like about this? It's an iconic. Well, first of all, it's that iconic sort of blood that she had from Thingy, but it really looks like a Kiss t-shirt.
Yeah,
it really looks like a Gene Simmons album cover, which is the point, the absolute point, especially with the name on it, more so than just looking at this. But with that, I always wanted it because it just looks like that Kiss t-shirt, and I like my crossover. Garbage Man.
Yeah, Darby Allin deserves so much more than that.
Absolutely. This is a great t-shirt.
Cool design. Love the sort of half and half.
Yeah.
But again, the reference doesn't make me think, like himself, didn't make me think Dustin Rhodes.
But I like that. I don't think it all has. I don't know if you do have to. I like the fact that sometimes you've got to think to work it out.
And if it's something you're proud of, you want to do it loud and proud. Like the t-shirt that you've got on now, I can see exactly what it says. I don't need any more context to know what it is.
Tell me what it is.
It's NXT.
Wrong.
Well, it says NXT on it.
Wrong. It's not NXT. It's NXT at Download Festival.
Yes, but the whole thing is it's NXT.
Okay, all right, yeah, fair enough.
My shirt easy, distinguishable. You
Oh,
want it to
that's
be
Hull City top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it to be instantly recognizable to who you are supporting. And to me, that T-shirt doesn't do that.
I hope Mark's still here. That's not a Hull City top, is it? It's a Liverpool top.
Yes.
To confirm, I just said it's a Hull City top, right? And you went, yep.
Because I wasn't falling into your trap.
Very good. That's just garbage, man. Who the hell wants a wolf on a t-shirt like that when you can get so many better wolf t-shirts, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Go away.
I mean, if it was like a pack of wolves, it'd make more sense because you've got Nightmare Family, a pack of wolves.
There we go, man. There we go. Cool. That was fun, Dad. Thanks very much for that. What should we do now? Do you want to go to questions, or should we do a AEW crate or a nipple game, or what?
It's entirely up to you. I mean, it is 1:15 in the morning. I didn't realise it was that time.
We're wrapping it up soon, baby. I'll tell you what, I'll leave the AEW crate till next week. But we will. I do want to do questions today and invite members to be on stream as well. Dan, could you share our invite link to a community post for the members? Anyone that and just put some. Can you do that, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I can do that one for you.
I can do comments if you want. You can do comments if you want. I can do it. I don't mind.
No, I've got it ready.
Cool. So if you are already a member of the channel, you can follow a link in the community tab that will send you the community invite link. So you can come and join us on this stream, and we will invite you on to have a chat. It's part of the bonuses that you get for being a member. So absolutely come down. I hope you've all enjoyed tonight. Please do let us know. Let us know what feedback, what you like, what you don't like. It'd be great to hear. Right, let's have a go. Let's see where we was at. I've been trying to start stuff as we go, so I remember what we were up to. Or Priest cashing on Seth. Cody takes him off at WrestleMania 40. Ooh, there we go. That would leave Cody out of Bloodline business. It certainly would. I'd love Cody to win the championship from Seth or Gunther. Yeah, I'd love that too. Dustin Rhodes, well done, Sassy. Sassy got it. I don't know if you got it before us or not. I won't look into the comments. It's better with the blood skull. I really like that shirt. I think that's a really cool shirt. Okay, I have to get going. See you later. Cheers, Todd. Thanks for joining us, brother, for the debut episode.
Cheers, dude.
Sassy wants the Mox t-shirt. Of course she does. Bye, Todd. Take care. Huang has joined us again. Hey, Huang, how are you doing? Dale says, "Who's a fan of Sean Spears?" Yeah, he's got his place, hasn't he? He seems like a freaking wonderful dude as well.
Yeah, I mean, him and Tyler Breeze have got their own wrestling school. One of my favorite videos to go and watch, just because it looks like it is painful AF, is them doing chops to Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah, the full wrestling school gets 2 chops on Chris Van Vliet, and his chest looks like a piece of mince at the end. It's ridiculous.
There we go. Who was Sean Spears? Yeah, he's Tyler Breeze. He was in WWE. Hello, exactly, says Dale. Wrestlers in AEW was Tyler Breeze. Exactly what? You don't know who is Sean Spears, Dale? He does Huang. Sean has not been on TV. Wife just had a baby. Certainly did. Peyton Royce had a baby. I know who Sean Spears is. Do you know who Sean Spears is? So I guess no one else here knows. Yeah, we know. Just being helpful, not personal. I know you've been helpful, though. Thanks. Good, Sassy. Good. We are getting late. So if you got any questions? So I don't think this questions thing was set up correctly. But I don't know
we've
how
got a couple coming.
How do you see it? Because I can't see it.
So if you go to the live chat itself, where you normally do the polls, at the top you should have a drop-down section where you should be able to pick top chat, live chat, questions.
Oh, wow.
And it'll separate them for you.
Fantastic. We do have a couple of questions. Thank you so much for submitting these questions. These are all viewer-submitted questions. What was Sassy's great question later on? Because we'll add that into it as well.
Sassy's was... I can't remember off the top of my head, in all honesty.
Sassy, get your questions in, Dal. So we do have a couple of links. We did at the start of the show put the Q&A link up. What would you like to have as the end of show question? Best question gets it. We are going to read through all of them because, but we're going to give them some time, man, because that's what we're going to do. So thank you so much to the community for asking these questions. These are the most pressing questions you guys have. Huang.
Yep, go for it. You go for it.
Huang
I know what you
says,
say.
can you guys tell a funny jokes at the end of the show, please? Of course we can, Huang. What do you call a bee that produces milk? A boo bee. Dan, over to you.
I thought we was going wrestling.
Well, that's just a question. If she wants funny jokes, gives a funny joke.
So I was watching a show called Origami Wrestling yesterday.
Oh.
It was on pay-per-view.
You probably got me then, because I thought you was going to go into one of them rants, and I was like, "Oh God, do I have to listen about origami for a while?" And then, no, you got me. You got me perfectly.
Yep. So
Mark,
there we go. I was going to say I've got a few more lined up ready because I did see Kwang's question, so I thought I'd get a few lined up.
rock and roll. Thank you, man. Should Finn Balor leave WWE? That was asked by Mark LFC UK. Really interesting. Should he leave WWE? I suppose the real answer to should anyone leave anything is, are they happy where they are?
I don't think it needs to be that. I think it's, do you think you could prospect more outside of where you are?
If that's your ambition.
Yeah.
Look at Shinsuke. Shinsuke could definitely do better elsewhere.
Yeah.
But would he be? His ambition doesn't seem to be that anymore. It seems to be
making money,
and being able to spend time with his family in Florida.
Yeah,
riding on a surfboard. Cool.
That's his ambition. So he's doing exactly what he wanted. He did his professional wrestling in New Japan and become a global superstar. And he was like, I want to spend time with my family, but I also want to make some money to set my kids up for life.
And not have to wrestle that style anymore.
Yeah, so that is why the NXT and WWE run is suiting him. AJ Styles, his ambition after leaving Impact was to put on some of the best matches in the world, so he went to New Japan. And then he was like, I always had that thought in my head, could I make it in WWE? So his ambition was to make it in WWE. And he's done that. So
I think...
Go on.
No, you've gone.
So to me, if Finn Balor thinks, can I do what my next life/career goal is in WWE, why would I need to change? If I want to go out there and have a 5-star match on the next show. I think,
let's change the question. Would you like to see Finn Balor outside of the WWE, or would you prefer him to be in the WWE?
I personally think there is more scope for better matches outside of WWE as of right now.
Yeah, I think so. God, get him in AEW, man.
Yeah,
get him in AEW. Jay White, Kenny Omega.
I was just about to say, 5 people you want to see Finn Balor wrestle outside of WWE.
Jay White, Kenny Omega. I'd like him to redo Joe.
Yeah,
I think that'd be great. I think there's so much richness there. And their matches were great. Yeah. Who else?
Ospreay, Sabre Jr.
Hell yeah.
Ibushi.
Okada.
There's infinite numbers of world-class 5-star plus match potential that is never going to get the chance to do in WWE. So going back to your question, I think he's some... Yeah. Mike Bailey. Moose.
Mike Bailey. Yeah. Yeah.
There's ridiculous numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, Sassy's just put Alex Shelley. Again, another one.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
Finn Balor versus Moxley.
Yeah, because we've never seen that, have we? We've seen Balor versus Ambrose, but we've never seen Moxley. Interesting. There's loads of great stuff for him that he could do outside of WWE, but at the same time, he's doing great in WWE as well. So let's just Just hope he's happy. Jason Peace asks a question. Thank you so much, Jason. I do appreciate it, brother. He says, what do you think of All In and the build of the show coming up? I think that they've left the build very slow, Jason. I think it's been held off a little bit too much. I think that the MJF and Adam Cole stuff is outstanding. I think that's going to be the sort of blow away moment of All In. I think people wanted to see some sort of dream card, and I think actually what they've done is deliver more of a story card with a couple of dream matches on it. So I don't think they're the biggest matches that people had in their heads, but I actually don't necessarily think that's a bad thing for AEW, especially with having All Out the week after. So I think the build is getting there. It's getting there, and I can't wait to see it. I really can't wait to see it. I think that crowd's going to be outstanding. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I cannot wait, because I think that there's going to be so much build on Dynamite this week for you.
Yes.
And with me, I mean, you'll know my situation. I am technically free Thursday. So I could possibly do Dynamite with you. And I think there's gonna be so much going on in the lead up to next weekend's All In. It's gonna be absolutely jam-packed full of stuff.
They've got 2 Dynamites left, haven't they?
Yeah, this Wednesday, next Wednesday, so it's next weekend.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mean, there is a little nugget that I did see relating to the MJF and Adam Cole, which I don't know if it's true or if it's just the way that it's been played out.
Give me a nugget.
But Adam Cole is the one to turn heel on MJF. I've got 2 very good counterpoints to you shaking your head.
Go on.
First one, Roderick Strong. Before he turned heel on Roderick Strong, he hugged Roderick Strong. And exactly. And he did exactly the same to MJF. And every other hug that he's done since before that, it's been a flat hand.
It's just how he hugs, man. It's just how he hugs.
That's why I counterpointed it by saying every other hug has been like that. The hug to MJF was like that. So I don't know if that is the case, but they are teasing us wrestling nerds that do pick up on this sort of stuff. So
you can't do it. You can't do it. You cannot have MJF come out of this looking like the idiot to Adam Cole. It's more important for MJF to look like the devil, and he is the devil.
Yeah,
they're gonna win. They're gonna win them Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and I think MJF in either after that or in the lead up to All In is gonna have Adam Cole do something really bad to Roderick Strong, and then he's gonna turn on him, and Adam Cole is gonna be left with no one with Ring of Honor tag titles that he doesn't even have a tag team partner to fight with. Has to go back to Roderick Strong after doing something evil with him. I think there's great ways there that you can turn the story into different things. But you can't make MJF look like the idiot. You can't do it.
You can't. But again, look at Nomar. MJF brought the contracts to the ring, and he was basically rushing to get Adam to sign it. Adam Cole didn't really read it. So could you see Adam Cole versus MJF in a match? And then when Adam Cole wins it, he finds out that it wasn't for the title. So Adam Cole then absolutely lays into MJF as the heel.
You absolutely could, but would that be? I think that'd be too much of a bummer for the UK crowd. I think it's too complicated.
Would, but it's you could with MJF you could pull that off quite well, and I think it would work. We got screwed over by Drew not winning at Clash at the Castle, so I'm not surprised us getting screwed over again by having a dodgy finish like that.
Could do it. MJF may lose, but a stip in the contract Cole signs lets him keep the title.
Yeah,
I don't think you can't make MJF look weak though.
You don't need to make him look weak. He can win the title He can win the match, but the stipulation is the title doesn't change hands. It's a non-title match.
Well, it looks like you're joining me for Dynamite this week, Dan, to find out. It's going to be fun. Guys, if you want to find out more about what's happening with MJF, are you joining me on Wednesday?
I might do. I don't know yet. Depends how this cold goes.
Oh, yeah, you're not feeling well. Mate, he's been streaming for 3 hours and he's got a cold. Well played to Dan. What other questions have we got, Dan?
Well, I was just going to, because we have someone that's just jumped into our sort of little green room, as I'm calling it, that might have a very good insight, always has very, very good insights to stuff like this.
Certainly
so
does.
What we're going to do is bring in one of our moderators, moderator extraordinaire, as I always call her.
Not just moderator, Dan. The reason she's here is because she's a member, and the members got sent out the invites. If you want to be part of this, you can absolutely become a member and join us. And here she is. It's Sassy.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Sass, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's just me and my little guy.
Oh, what's his name?
Prince.
Prince.
Hello,
of course,
Prince.
I think I remember you saying Prince before. Bless him. If Jack was here, he'd be going crazy right now, Sass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for Jack when he watches it later.
What do you think about the MJF Adam Cole situation, Sass?
I think it's going to end up being an anything goes match so that when he cheats and hits Adam Cole with the ring, he can look at the contract and say, hey, it wasn't illegal because you signed the contract and it said anything goes.
I think that's a less confusing way of doing it.
Because you know he's going to cheat.
It certainly is. It's MJF. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Sassy, you had a couple of questions. Do you want to ask them live on air, baby?
Yeah, my first one is that I just feel that Dynamite is so dependent upon BCC and Elite, but I think more BCC. Like I've noticed that whenever Rampage, and I also Rampage, whenever Rampage's ratings are low, all of a sudden there's a BCC match on the following week, and the ratings go up. And I want to see BCC versus House of Black. But if they keep them on Dynamite, it's never going to happen because House of Black is on Collision. And we're missing some great matches. I want to see Claudio and Mox go after FTR. I would love Orange Cassidy to go up against Miro.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
As well. My fear is that Orange Cassidy is going to go up against Mox at Wembley, and Mox is going to win that belt, and I'm hoping that does not happen.
If Mox wins the belt, he'll surely just be taking it everywhere and facing everyone. But didn't they put that in his contract not to do that?
Well, he's fighting it. He's back fighting GCW.
Oh, well, there we go. So,
and he's at Defy. He's going to be back in Japan in a couple of months, and I'm like, do you know his history in WWE that he burns out?
Yeah, and he did last time, and ended up having to take some time off to sort himself out. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But could you look at it with Moxley taking that title off Orange Cassidy and then giving AEW more exposure by taking it to places like New Japan?
And I think that's what Tony Khan wants to do, because he's one of the few wrestlers like Kenny that everybody wants to wrestle because they know they're going to get a good match out of him. But he hasn't had a vacation since he went to rehab.
So what you're concerned about is burnout again.
Burnout or an injury.
Well, I think
and then where's the belt then?
Yeah. I think to your original point, do they rely too heavily on the Elite and BCC? I'd also put one other name into that,
Orange
and that would
Cassidy.
be Orange Cassidy. Yeah, and I agree. I think they do rely on them too heavy, and in the same way that I think WWE potentially relies a bit too much on Judgment Day and Bloodline. People talk about WWE in terms of how it's got better and stuff like that. But actually, what they're only really talking about is a couple of stories. There's still a lot of garbage on all the shows, you know, that aren't building up the characters in the way that they need to. Would you agree, Dan?
Yeah. I mean, you watch a SmackDown, you've got probably the best part of 3/4 of an hour of a 2-hour show with Bloodline story plus recaps and commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
That is way too much because you haven't got enough time to put matches on plus build other stories to a sufficient level to make you get properly invested. With a 3-hour Monday Night Raw show, it's even harder because you've got an extra hour to try and cover. So you are relying so much on a few small characters doing usually a story-wide show that starts at the beginning, entrance, opening segment, that ends with the main event match at the end of the night. And there's so much of that going on for a lot of people now these days.
Yeah. Cody, Bloodline, Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's WWE. And you're right, Dynamite, BCC, Elite, and Orange Cassidy. And that's all it is. I suppose the thing is with Dynamite is it's more condensed. It's in 2 hours, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, interesting. Did you had a couple of other questions, Sassy? I wanna.
Yeah, I know that Jordan Grace is now a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
I know that she's involved with bodybuilding, but I'm guessing she still wants to wrestle, and she's an incredible talent. Where would you guys like to see her go?
Great question, Sassy. I'd say the same as I always say, wherever she's happy. But in terms of where would I like to see her go, I think WWE, and I know that you won't be expecting me to say that either. And the reason I say WWE is because actually I think that sort of bodybuilder woman could be something that would be really interesting. I feel like AEW has a couple of bigger ladies that they already use. Even people who are booked as bigger ladies, but aren't necessarily like Mercedes Martinez. But when you look at someone like Jade Cargill, or you've also got Nyla Rose and stuff like that, I feel that that's the giant or the bodybuilder is something that WWE is kind of lacking a little bit right now. So I think Jordan Grace would be really interesting in WWE personally. What about you, Dan?
I mean, you've already got Raquel Rodriguez, but if she's gone out with a legitimate injury and she could be out for a while, Jordan Grace could be an ideal person to put into that sort of position. But you did have people like Dana Brooke, who was a professional bodybuilder before being signed to WWE, but because she wasn't the 5'10", 6 foot bodybuilder, I don't think that WWE took her too seriously.
I think Dana Brooke is a difficult one because she was kind of coming out of that diva era still. So they're trying to sell her as a diva as opposed to the legitimate bodybuilder that she actually is. So I think Dana's a really difficult example of where someone like Jordan Grace could head in this current product. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I do think that sort of Dana has been put into too many of the comedic segments with the old 24/7 title and stuff that just didn't put her in a good light. She's done what she's been asked of her by selling what she's been told storyline-wise and gimmick-wise, but I don't think it's very productive for Dana Brooke as a performer to be chasing around a 24/7 title or sat in catering every week. She's someone that I think could be a potential main eventer given the right push and story, but I don't think WWE class her as a main event star anymore. They class her as a jobber to the main stars on the women's division now.
There we go. Where do you think she should be, Sass?
I can see her in two places. One, I would love for her to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Because she would be such an oddity in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her build. Yeah, because of her style and her build.
Is there anyone like that in Stardom at the minute?
I don't think there is. The other place I could see her in, I would love to see her in Ring of Honor and have her and Athena go.
Having Athena go? Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? But Athena's just doing great work with everyone at the minute, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. And I think that tough wrestling style of Ring of Honor that the women have there, she would fit into really well.
She would. She certainly would. Used to wrestle with Pro Wrestling Eve as well, of course, Jordan Grace.
Yes, love her. Amazing talent.
She really is, man. She really is. Let's see what people think about the MJF situation as well as everything else. I'll just get through some comments so we don't get too far behind. Funny how MJF brought contract to the ring. Adam signed it, so the contracts will come into play. MJF may lose, but a stip in the contract Cole signs let him keep the title. There is a reason MJF brought that contract out instead of a big contract signing. MJF's always complaining and talk to the people about something that he is probably not interested in going to AEW Collision on last Saturday night in Calgary. Nice. Do you remember the Collision? Asked Huang. And then a bit of talk between Huang and Norma, who Norma missed it. I think WWE would have her. I not think WWE would have her. You don't think WWE would have her?
I think that WWE probably would take her just to take her off the market. But I don't reckon they would put her as a main event star because of the way that she is as a character.
She's a great wrestler, though. And I don't know. It's one of them things where you just have to try it and see. And if I was Jordan Grace, I'd probably sign a 2-year contract and see how it goes. And then at the end of the 2 years, I can walk if I need to.
I'd probably do a 1 year.
1 year.
I would do a 1.
The problem with a 1 year is you're not going to get pushed if you've only got a 1 year contract. Does that make sense? So you've got to play it both ways, really.
But I mean, if you look at I know it's a different industry to what it was back then, but even Triple H, when he was with WCW, this is how far back it goes. He said to Eric Bischoff, "Give me a 1 year contract, and you will know at the end of the year if I'm worth the money." And in the end, he was like, "Nah, I can't afford to give you that." So he spoke to, I think it was Kevin Nash, when he was still working for WWE, and ended up getting a contract with WWE and been with WWE ever since.
There we go.
So if Jordan Grace is wanting to basically show the division how good she is, she could sort of use that as leverage and say, "Give me 1 year to show you what I can do. You will know at the end of the year if I'm worth a longer contract or not."
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it. Norman makes a really good point. He says Beth Phoenix played that bodybuilder diva role so well. She absolutely did.
Glamazon was amazing.
Yeah, it was more than it was a gimmick. It was everything, wasn't it? Really, it was. I mean,
even with the comedy with Santino Marella, she got over, which was amazing to do with a comedy character, and still holding titles.
Last night on AEW Collision was my first time watching it on my YouTube. Good for you, Huang. That sounds cool. Cool. I've noticed, but it didn't come up in my chat. On the fan funding, Mark LFC has gifted Hull Yeah memberships, but it doesn't come up on our screen. I hadn't seen that. Had you, Dan?
No, I haven't seen anything. I'll have a quick check.
Yeah, he did gift, and it went to Seth, who basically it was the first time he ever entered our chat. He was a newcomer, and he got the gift.
Oh, that's very kind. So does it tell you? Because we don't see that on our screen. We didn't see that at all. So
not through StreamYard.
If you're still with us, Mark, thank you so much. That's so kind of you,
Yeah.
and so kind to other people. Bless you.
So yeah, we've got Seth I. Roth, and then we've also got Michael Pagnos has rejoined. So again, thank you very much for that one, Michael.
Thank you. I don't know if that's been
appreciate you, dudes.
Sassy, have you got any more questions, my darling?
No, I don't have any more questions. I'm curious to see what everybody else's questions are.
Well, I think we've gone through them all now. But
really?
Yeah, man, it was just 3 questions in there, but that's all good. It'll go. Have you enjoyed tonight's show, Sassy? It's been 3 hours of just us gassing.
Yeah, I really have enjoyed it because we really don't get a chance to talk, and then when we do the streams, we're really focusing on one product or one promotion. And I'm hoping that there are people who will bring in other promotions the next time that we do this. Because I know that there are people who are fans of GCW. There are a lot of new indies that have come out that are drawing top stars like Defy and Circle 6 and there are different types of matches as well. I'd like to have some people come in and ask questions about death matches because even though not everybody likes them, they're becoming very popular and they're being done very well in certain promotions as well.
Great. Well, we've got all that to look forward to, and I have no doubt Sassy will steer the direction in that way when we need it to, for sure. Sassy, you are not just a champion Hulomaniac who supports us with the funding to help us with stream ads. You're our moderator every time. You help support the content, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Sassy.
I appreciate you guys, too. You don't know how much this chat has helped me, not only with my, I guess I should tell people, I don't know if everybody knows, I actually have a very rare disease called mixed connective tissue disease. It causes me to have mental health and physical health issues. And before I got involved with this chat, I was extremely depressed. And now I can announce this to everybody. I'm in remission, y'all.
Oh, congratulations, Sassy. That's great.
Just found out on Friday.
That's fucking amazing,
That's
Sassy.
great news.
Fantastic. Congratulations. That's awesome.
So you guys are a part of that, and thank you, all of you, so much.
Wow. It's everyone that does it, and we appreciate everything you do for us, Sassy. You know that, and you absolutely keep the chat in order when it needs to. And you know, remember when I brought up the idea of Sassy becoming a moderator, and I said I need to check with Dom, and straight away everyone in that chat says Sassy's the moderator. Sassy's the moderator, and look at you now. You make it a fantastic place to be every episode. So thank you so much, Sassy.
Hi, Dan. How are you, honey?
He's already saying congratulations.
There we go. Congratulations. Dan, you're more than welcome to join us. We have put the link in the community page. You just got back in from a Eve show. How did it go, mate? I saw it was streaming earlier on. I've just come back from a real good Eve show, and I came back to better news. I'm so pleased. Well, that's the power of YouTube, brother. Power of YouTube. And the power of positivity. I don't know, Sassy. I'm talking crap. Tell me to shut up.
No, I'll never tell you guys to shut up.
You can banhammer me, all right?
We do need telling to shut up every so often.
Well, I'll leave that to you.
That's great. So what's the good news right now, Sassy? The good news is that Sassy has overcome some health issues that she's been having, and she's on the mend, which is all part of everyone that's in the chat as well. So thank you, everyone. Cool. Dan's going to come and join us. Dan is obviously a member. We have posted the member link up for chats and stuff like that. So Dan's going to pop in and join us. Hope that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, always.
Always. Did you manage to watch any of Eve earlier, Sassy?
I watched a little bit of Eve. I'm gonna watch the rest of it tomorrow because I have to watch the rest of the G1.
Right. Was there because you're a member of Eva? Was it a members only stream? The second part.
I don't know if it was member only or not. I just got the I always do the notifications in order to get notified, and then it just pops right up. So,
which is a really good way of knowing about when these shows are going live. So make sure you turn on them notifications. Cool, man. Where's Dan? Hi there. Great stream earlier, Dan. Give me 2 ticks, says Dan. We'll wait for Dan. That's fine. It's only 1:20 in the morning, right?
So, I am just going to quickly ask Sassy, because I know you're a huge fan of the deathmatch scene. Have you sort of had a look at TNT Extreme in the UK?
No, I haven't. But I want to, and I'm hoping I can do it. That's one of the things on my list for this week is to check it out to see. But
so, go on, you're all right.
And I'm such a big fan of death matches because my first match I ever went to, I was 7 years old, and it was a death match that my grandfather took me to.
At 7?
At 7.
Crazy.
And my father and I were kicked out because he knocked out one of the wrestlers that was involved in that match.
You can't get away with that today.
Yeah, so my grandfather was a big reason why I'm a wrestling fan today.
Yeah. The reason I brought it up is there's a show going on. Let me have a look. August 19th. So in a few days' time, Drew Parker and Clint Margera, which I think are probably two of the best deathmatch workers in the UK at the moment.
Drew Parker is one of the best in the world, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Clint Margera is probably the best in the UK as of right now. And they're going up against each other one final time.
Oh, I would have to definitely watch that.
Yeah, I think Margera called out Drew either earlier on this month or in July, which was a great call out. It is on the Instagram. It is on Instagram, and it is great to watch the passion in Clint's voice.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out, definitely.
Yeah, it's well worth checking that out.
Yeah, and I will recommend to you a new promotion called Circle 6.
Circle 6. Let me get that up.
And they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they have amazing matches. They're death match based.
I've got it.
But there is a up and comer. His name is Atticus Cougar.
Okay.
And he's an amazing deathmatch wrestler, very much in the style of Alex Colon, who I think is the best deathmatch wrestler in the world right now.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to check that out. Where's it based, Sass?
In Ohio.
In Ohio, right? Okay. Cool. Are they showing it on Fight? Is it part of that big?
They have a couple of shows on Fight.
Yeah.
And they have a couple of shows on their YouTube channel. A lot of the wrestlers are wrestlers who were the original GCW crew, who moved on from GCW because GCW doesn't do as much death matches as they did before.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, why aren't GCW doing as many death matches?
Part of the reason is that they want to become more mainstream. And with a casual audience fan, which tends to be now what you're getting is a more casual fan, they don't want the blood. And they don't want the violence and the fight part of wrestling. They want more of that high flyer. I mean, I'm finding the casual fan doesn't even like mat wrestling that much
Right.
It's
anymore
not
either.
and that's
You know.
what casual want now is this spot fest. They want to be able to go onto TikTok and Instagram and watch a 20, 30-second clip
Mhm,
of a couple of big high-flying moves,
mhm.
and mat wrestling doesn't give you that short video demographic audience.
Is it an issue with the bloodletting as well being on different? I mean, Twitter seems fine with it, but Facebook can be a bit funny with stuff like
Yeah.
that as well, and YouTube
Instagram
certainly
too.
can.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's a reason for it as well. Interesting.
Mhm.
We're just hanging for Dan to come and join us, and
Mhm.
then we're wrapping up the stream. But it has been fun. What's been your favorite part of the show, Sass?
I like us talking about the different storylines and where we think they're going to be going and what are the problems in
Cool.
those storylines as well. I'm like you, Aunt. I tend to be a fan of mat wrestling and wrestling because that's where I came from.
Yeah.
I like the high flying wrestling, but it's got to be wrestling. I like sports entertainment, but there has to be wrestling in it. It can't just be two guys flying all over the place for the purpose of entertaining people, which puts me in a minority because that's why I'm not a fan of Logan Paul. Because to me, all he does is high fly and does his punches, so that the wrestler ends up having to dumb down his game to make him look competent. And that's not competition, and that's not the wrestling that I grew up with.
Did you feel that was the case at SummerSlam against Logan Paul? Or did you enjoy that match more?
I enjoyed that match a little bit more because Ricochet is so good at what he does in his particular style of wrestling. I was very disappointed with his match with Roman because to me his Roman match did not work. It wasn't believable at all because of the style that Roman does, and his style doesn't mesh. And that happens in regular wrestling matches where you'll have two guys come together and it's like, this just doesn't work because their styles are too different. It was more believable with Seth, but Seth can pretty much wrestle anything.
There's certain people that can. Cool. Interesting, Sassy. It's interesting to always hear your takes on Logan Paul as well, of course. And I do have someone. Are you hanging around, Sassy? Because I'm bringing someone else onto the stream that I'm sure would love to say hello and congratulate you as well. It's our friend. He's been out there putting on his own wrestling show this evening. He is a member of the Gimme a Hull Yeah channel, which is why he's able to join us on this stream right now. It is none other than Dan Reed.
There's even like things flashing and whatnot, flipping around. Can you hear me right, by the way? Because I've got the fan on because it's a fucking billion degrees here.
We certainly can.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Like,
how you doing,
so
Sassy? First of all, firstly, mostly important, Sassy, you fucking legend, you. Like, I really, genuinely, please, like, fucking go. Like, absolutely superb. Well pleased for you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you.
Well, honestly, you should be real fucking proud. Puts anything else I talk about into fucking thing for today. I tell you, sorry, I'm just having to reply to Marika's just got back to where she's staying. She's literally just messaged me now, so I'm just letting them know that is good. Marika Kobashi. So yeah, bruv. Oh my god, today. Fuck.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Fuck me. Right, so this is how. So there were 12 wrestlers booked for today's show, right? Yard Theatre, small small venue, cracking venue though, loud. Well, it's actually my favorite venue that we run is the Yard Theatre. I adore it. And the other thing that one of the main things that I really love about the Yard Theatre is where we get a lot of women at that venue who the Dome really just seems to attract like wrestling fans. The Yard Theatre, I just don't think the Dome is a very welcoming kind of place if you're going for a night out. It's more of we're going for a gig that we have got, whereas the Yard comes across as like, let's go to the Yard and let's see what's that. Or they've had that wrestling there for a while, let's try that out. And then the word just gets around locals and whatnot. And so we're building like a real strong like female audience there, and I love that because that's the goal, is get back to what we were prior to the pandemic, when the audience were like being made up of like 80% women, because people are always like, wrestling's for boys, right? And I'm like, fuck that shit, let's open that up. And so I really love the Yard. It's a great venue where you can make the shows more interactive with the audience because they're so up close to the ring and everything on those lines. So 5-match card, 4 singles and a tag. That was the original plan for the main event. And then there was a double booking with 2 of the performers. And I was like, that's okay. We'll do 5 singles so I can adjust it. Makes sense. Because, the thing about all the shows is it's not about changing that show. Every time you change something, you're not changing that show. You're changing the next show, the show after, because there's ripples and effects. So it's not as simple as, okay, we'll just do this and do this. Once you change something on this show, you're changing what happens on the next show, And it's not just for that one person or 2 people that's missing. It's, well, what about the people that they were working? So what are they doing now? What are they doing on the show after that? And how does that lead to them going to where they're going? You're planning, months down the road. Like the changes to today's show affected changes that are going on in 12 shows time. So, and you're changing this for like multiple people. So, so we lost 2 people down to double booking, and so I make the changes. Okay, we've got 5 singles then. Well, then Rhea gets sick, so now I've gone down from 12 people, now I'm down to 9 people. Well, then Emerson couldn't make her flight on time.
Oh no!
So now down to 8 people. Wow. 8 people. That's 4 singles. That's not going to work. All right. So then I'm like, and this is like yesterday, right? So now I can like fill the card out with people that are, still young in the teeth. Do you know what I mean? But I'm a really big believer on quality over quantity, and I'm just like, I would rather come up with something creative rather than, and do you know what I mean, with the talent I got there, rather than freaking, just bring in anyone just so there's numbers. So I make it work. I come up with an angle. So 4 singles, 3 in the first half, 2 in the second. Sorry, 3 in the first half, 1 in the second, but do a G on the first involving 2 of the singles so that we set up 4 of the girls working a tag in the main event. Cool. Okay, that works. And then Saf is working the double today. So she's got a show early in the day. She gets injured. Now I'm down to 7 people.
No way, man.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like, right, okay. We find that out an hour before doors open. Like,
so what the hell did you do, man?
So we had there's a young girl called Megan who comes out and helps out now. She's greener than the freshest grass, but she's got a cracking attitude. So it was a case of, all right, Megan, you remember to bring your gear? She's like, yep. It's like, get changed. Now she is young, she is green, but my God, that girl's got a great attitude. And so it's one of those moments where you like, go out there, and she's had this a couple of times where people have got hurt, beforehand, and at the last minute she has stepped in. It actually happened on the last show, the last Yard show. She ended up working rain because Ava was training in the morning and Ava was wrestling rain that afternoon, and Ava got hurt in training that morning. And so little Megan had to step in and wrestle rain impromptu. So that wasn't the storyline reason that we gave. We gave a different reason storyline, but that was the real reason.
Who did you put her against tonight? So
today she was against Chantel Jordan.
Okay.
So, you got 2 youngsters. And the other thing is I'm a big believer in, don't be afraid to fuck up with the youngsters, because it's the only way you learn. Like, you'll fuck up, and that's how you learn. And they've worked once before, but I didn't want them to do the same match that they've done before, because then what you're learning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, fantastic. It's the thing about matches that you've done before, well, that's safety nets. Well, there is no, as much as there's wrestling training schools, that's really just where you learn how to physically do moves. That's pretty much it. When it comes to actually learning the job, you learn the job on the job. This is an on-the-job learning business. Like, you cannot replicate the audiences, and you cannot replicate that feeling of panic, of anxiety, and what you do in the moment. And you cannot replicate in training the idea of a crowd going against you when you're trying to do this well. I'm really not into really rehearsed matches. Like I said, one of the things I really can't stand about a lot of today's wrestling, practice the spots you know how to do, but don't rehearse every single moment of your match so that you take away any of the interactivity of wrestling. And I'm really proud of them today because they didn't do that. It was a last minute, so it's one of those bonuses of the benefits of something being last minute is you can't rehearse and practice and go through. But it meant that they called a lot of it out on the fly. Was it beautiful? No. Was it ugly? Yes. Did it work somehow still? Yes. Did they learn something from it? Absolutely. Like little Megan, she left there going, I'd learn more from this one than from previous. And it's like, well, that's what it's about. She's still a baby in the business, but cracking attitude. So I keep saying the shoot name. I should be saying Amara Jade. It's been one of the things about when it comes to like running wrestling shows, and this is why you see people shit on WWE or you see people shit on Dave Meltzer when people say, you said this was going to happen and then it didn't, and he put plans change. And the thing is, I've said it before on streams, one of the biggest things that like Regal went on to me about, he would say, how people say plans change and they have a go at you for doing it, but it's true. And he's right, because and the thing is, the plans change. People say, oh, you said this was going to happen, and that didn't happen with them. But they're still both wrestling, so nothing changed with them. And it's like, nothing might have changed with them and their physical well-being, but something happened to somebody else on that chain. When you move house, there's a chain. You're relying on this person to be able to do this and this person to be able to do that, so you can go there. And it's the same with wrestling. There is a chain. You are reliant on being able to work with this person because that sets up this person going there and this person going there. And the person they were working subsequently is set off to go there and there. It's a constant change. So when something happens with one, it isn't happening with one, it's happening with two. And then there's a ripples effect. So when it happens with two, it's not happening with two, it's happening with at least four. And then today, ours was with 5.
Wow.
So like, and that is just the way it is. And that's why it's like, I give these wrestling promoters, and you imagine trying to do this for TV. Like you've got hours worth of television a week that you got to do.
Look at the AEW women's division and what's going on there, and that's not all to blame, but there's been a lot of accidents as well that have happened. Jamie Hayter being injured and all this other stuff that completely takes plans out the window. And I'm sure they had some great plans for All In that have just had to go.
Exactly. I'm sure that, and I know there were some things in play, right? But at the end of the day, shit happens, plans change, it's a real thing, and a lot of these times they're out of your hands. I mean, there is additional ones. Poor Marika, right? She got delayed at Edinburgh Airport for over 5 hours. Like the panic that we just had was in her almost then missing her like last connection.
Wow.
Which is what she was just messaging me about, that she made, and it was all good. And it's just like, well, thank fuck for that. Like there's all these things. A lot of people think that that everything is just the show start and the show ends. And this because of setting up gigs and everything. But like there's so much that goes into. So today was like high on the anxiety, high on the stress. And it's the same for the talent, because if you think that these changes are happening to me, well, they've had their idea on who they're working and who's going and what's going on, and now everything's being changed. And then you get to an hour before the show and somebody else is now injured who was working. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's but everyone come through. It's a really fun show. I didn't, because I was running
around. You're happy with the show?
Well, I didn't get to see much of it. In fact, I only actually saw 1 and a bit matches. which is can be quite standard because I'm running the show, so I'm doing a lot on show day, you know. So I only saw one of the bit match, which was Little Megan's match, and with Chantel, and then I saw the finish because I had an angle that I was involved in afterwards of Marika and Nina, and that's all I saw of the whole show. But the thing is, it's like, as a promoter, booker, whatever, you can learn everything you need, not from watching the show, but from listening to the show, because listening to the show tells you what you need to hear. Are the audience in on this? Are they reacting, or are they quiet? You know, like, and how much are they into it? Are they doing it because they know this is where they're supposed to do this? Or are they doing it because they're emotionally attached? And I tell you, they were emotionally attached, especially to Rita Slayworth versus Sky Smithson. Man, the crowd were loud. They were so loud. And I didn't see a single thing about that, man. I didn't see a single thing, right? Like I say, I was busy, I was doing, but I heard everything. Like, not because I heard it in the ring. I didn't hear a single bump. I couldn't hear a single bump because I couldn't hear anything over the sound of that audience.
Wow.
And that tells you everything you need to know.
Was that on the members only, or was that on the?
That was on the members only portion of the stream. That was part 2. Yeah, I've got to redo the edit. There's going to be a new edit going up on Tuesday. I'm probably going to do a live stream with on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, one of the two. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to be going to the cinema on Tuesday night. It depends on my wife's condition. She concussed the fuck out of herself this week, and so she was actually at the hospital tonight. So,
no, is she all right?
Yeah,
no, of course she's not.
It's one of those things. She went ass over tit down the stairs and twatted herself proper.
Oh,
yeah,
I've done that. That's not fun.
No, it's not good. She's got 2 great big lumps on her forehead, which our daughter lovingly informed her looks like a giant nutsack on her head. So, you know,
I hope you didn't say. Well, it does. Look,
right. Our daughter takes after me and the missus. Like, they don't mince words. So they say what they say and they mean what they say, or they say what they mean and they mean what they say. You know. But yeah, Emily's arms all fucked up and her head's all messed up. It's like. Yeah, so the plan was we were going to go see we were going to go to the pictures tomorrow and Tuesday, but I can't imagine Emily being able to travel, so I'll probably do a new stream of tonight's show on Tuesday night for people to watch. So yeah,
there you go, guys. So
there's no wrestling on Tuesday anyway either, is there? Or is NXT on Tuesday?
Is NXT maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, it's NXT. Is on Tuesday.
Does anyone watch it? I generally don't know.
No,
not really.
So I just seen Dale just said there's a girl from Miracle called Brittany Brooks. I think she's going to be staying. She followed us on Twitter, or maybe she emailed me recently. I've had a hell of a week, so I need to catch up on my emails. But I do know the name Dale. That name,
nice,
that name is either. I'm pretty sure that name was in my email inbox or Instagram inbox or something along those lines this week. So yeah, I know the name. I haven't seen them work, but I know the name, and I know it because of something this week very recently. So. So that was the abridged version of the day.
That's not
a good show.
Screw off. There's not a longer version of that, and you know that, Dan. Guys, I put a link in the channel for you to watch the free section of the stream, and then you can decide if you want to pay for that awesome match that Dan has described. I've got the membership for Dan's channel, so I will absolutely be watching that match. So thank you, Dan. And again, Dan's going to be streaming it on Tuesday, so do subscribe to Pro Wrestling Eve. While we're here, Dan, so you've come in at the question section of the show. And,
question section.
Yeah, man. We've been going for 3.5 hours, so we are wrapping this up very shortly.
Christ almighty.
We was wrapping it up at 10 minutes to the 3 hours.
Absolutely, yeah. We was wrapping it up 40 minutes ago, and then you came in.
Shit. Sorry, brother.
It's okay, love. It's okay. But because it's a question member of the show, I thought it'd be quite interesting. Sassy, do you have any questions for Dan? Look at this, cross-pollinating right now.
I'll ask the question that I asked before. Where would you like Jordan Grace to go?
There's the real answer is wherever makes her happiest. If I was to put it on the basis that let's say that all the major wrestling promotions were owned by one person and they were able to send a person wherever it is that they wanted, and they would be happy wherever they want. wherever they went. It'd be one of those things where if you sent Jordynne Grace to WWE, I'd actually want Jordynne Grace to be Jordynne Grace. I wouldn't want Jordynne Grace to be another character, because I think Jordynne Grace is a role model in themselves, and you don't need to improve that. You just need to give them more time, more creative, and work with them. I think that's the thing when I think about Jordynne Grace. I don't want to see a load of people write for her. I want to see a bunch of people create with her. And there are some wrestlers that you need to write for, and there are some people that you need to write with. And I think that Jordynne Grace is one of those people that you need to write with. So I don't know how much that necessarily would go on in WWE. But it's one of those things where it's just what's that left for Jordynne to do in TNA, where they can have a larger impact, which I feel that they can have a larger impact on the wrestling, pardon the pun, a larger impact on the wrestling community and wrestling fandom. And I think that Jordynne Grace is a perfect person for creating new fans as well. Jordynne Grace, I think, is someone that you would send out on your media tours, and she's a super smart woman, a hard worker. Someone I've had the pleasure of working with numerous times, and I'd love to work with again someday. So WWE is, I think it's one of those things where WWE would be the ideal option, but it's just whether or not you could get, because of that exposure aspect. And I just feel that Jordynne has a lot to offer. And I don't know how much, because of the let's be honest, the limited amount of things that we see time-wise given to women with regards to AEW. I don't. The last thing I'd want to see from Jordynne Grace is lost in the shuffle. Do you know what I mean? Not that couldn't happen. I mean, where's Kaylee Ray and Courtney right now? Do you know what I mean? So, they come up to WWE SmackDown, they drop the NXT titles, and then we don't see them again. So you can get lost in the shuffle in WWE. But I suppose that would be if you're going to do something with them, I'd love to see WWE work with Jordynne, not just write for her, work with, because I just think she's got so much to give. So there you go. You asked me what the time is. I'll tell you how to build a watch.
No, that's, to be honest, Dan, I said WWE. Sassy had a great idea of Ring of Honor, but that's primarily because of the awesome work that Athena's doing. But I think the other point that you sort of missed on there was that WWE feels like that type of character build would actually be something that they could really use right now as well.
Yeah, I think they could use. I mean, the thing is, it's like, I just think that that's a great role model. Like Jordynne herself is a great role model, and that character can be a great role model. That character could be, of course, whatever you need. But I just feel that this is why I say that I think work with Jordynne and work with the person that Jordynne is. Like Jordynne's obviously hugely, massively into bodybuilding. I think that's a great story, to tell in itself. That there's so many things that really can be done with them, and I just look at something that I think they just have a lot to offer the world, and I think that the WWE obviously has the biggest reach, and that's why I'm just whatever. And that's the thing why I wouldn't say Ring of Honor or Impact, because they're already reaching that audience. Like, the chances are, if you're watching Impact, you're probably watching Ring of Honor. And vice versa. It's the same. It's a hardcore wrestling fans, show. Not hardcore, not super hardcore like an indie, but it is a hardcore wrestling fan show. And I don't mean, you know what I mean. I don't mean a hardcore style. I mean like your diehard wrestling fan. Yeah. So so from that aspect, it's just what's there for Jordynne to gain? What's there for an audience to gain from Jordynne to see there? It's it's all right having good matches, but Jordynne can have good matches wherever she goes.
Well, the other one Sassy said was Stardom as well. It'd be really interesting.
Yeah, again, though, it's good matches. And I just think that Jordynne Grace can offer more to the world than just good matches.
Cool.
I think Jordynne Grace character, good matches only gets you so far. Unless, you need... No one's going on about these great matches that LA Knight's having.
No.
When's the last time someone went, did you see that amazing LA Knight match? Never. but yet but who's the top selling wrestler right now in WWE for merch? Who is the wrestler that everyone wants to get a YouTube video about because they know it get clicks? How many times do we see the clips of listen to this pop that LA Knight gets? And that's the biggest thing. It's like you can have. Look, I love great wrestling matches. I feature great wrestling. I encourage great wrestling matches. But great wrestling matches are everywhere, and they're a part of it, but they're not the full. They're not the full of it. They're 40%. They're not even 50%. They're 40%. And I think that like Jordan Grace has just got so much more to offer than a good wrestling match. I think Jordan Grace, the person, has got a lot to offer the wrestling business and can be a great inspiration to many people watching. And that, to me, that's what wrestling is. It's like today, how I was going on about the audience. We get a load of people, that come down to these shows, a load of women that come to these shows. They never even sit. This is the thing. They're not even wrestling. They've never even seen wrestling. They didn't even know. We have to explain at the start that you win by holding the shoulders down for a 3 count or submission. They don't know. They've never watched wrestling before. So we have to tell them prior to going live. And they're then being converted by having the right people in front of them, and to me that's a key thing, because if you always cater to just wrestling fans, then you're going to lose fans overall. You've got to be able to create new fans, and I do think that Jordan Grace is the kind of person that can create new fans because they've got a real story and they're a real person, and you can try to manufacture reality, but ultimately I feel most people see through it eventually. And I think with Jordan Grace, there's someone real there that you can't manufacture. You can give that character to someone else, but only Jordan can deliver it with realism.
Oh, yeah. So it's that thing of if she was in WWE, would they try to change that? Who knows, man?
Well, this is why it's just like I would just hope that, but I would just want
Dan
her in front of the largest audience.
Dan brought up the example of Dana Brooke, and the issue is there's similarities there, for sure. But Dana Brooke obviously was in a different era, and we talked about that. She was in that sort of crossover era and stuff like that. And bringing Jordan Grace in now would be different. But
I also think they've both got very different backstories.
Yeah.
And part of those backstories is part of, like, a lot of people don't realize Jordan Grace has been wrestling since she was 14.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but don't forget Dana Brooke's got some stories that they never played into in just in defense of Dana Brooke as well, like the whole thing of her partner that passed away and stuff like that.
Totally. And this is the
real
thing.
Shit.
They've both got stories, but they're different kind of stories.
Yeah.
And that's why. And I think that and I get why the name Dana Brooke would get brought up in a world of Jordan Grace
comparison.
In a comparison way, but I think the comparisons are very superficial. And I think that the deeper you go in, the more that there is a difference between them.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair point. Cool. Dan, we are going to wrap up the stream here. It's only been 3 hours and 40 minutes long. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us that are still with us, that's watching it in the future. It's been a hangout, is what it's been. Dan, thank you for joining us at the end of the show. Thank you for Sassy for joining us, and congratulations on your awesome news. Dan, do you have what's left to say?
I'm back tomorrow night, all being well, for Monday Night Raw. So I've got almost 7 hours of streaming under my belt in 2 days.
Yeah.
So come and join me. We'll have Wednesday night with yourself.
We will.
Friday night probably with Sam. And any shows from yourself this week going live, Dan? Reed?
Yeah.
Was something said to me?
Are you doing
what you got?
I'll be honest, Dan, you're so quiet. I can barely hear you, brother.
Okay. Is that any better? Yeah.
That's much better.
Okay. Any shows that you've got this week coming up, live streams or anything?
Yeah, so my aim is to live stream twice this week. So definitely Tuesday night with one of the previous shows. Hopefully it'll be today's show. If not, it'll be a previous show. If I don't get to do that, then maybe I'll do it prior to Dynamite on Wednesday. So I definitely intend to do, but I can't say exactly when. Right now, my brain is just full of the fact that I've got 2 more shows to do in 12 days. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be live streaming this week, definitely. But I've got 2 shows on August 26th. So, and I've got the talent arriving in on August 24th, and I've got so much to do. So my brain, and after dealing with today, my brain is just
completely fried for a bit.
Oh, completely fried, brother. Completely fried. So I haven't slept in 2 days neither. So I'm just like,
wow.
Wired.
Yeah. I'm proper, mate. And now I get to do the really fun part of paying everyone. So
nice.
yeah,
nice.
right.
And
then you get home, and now you got to pay everyone. Yeah.
Sassy, do you have anything left to add before we leave?
No, just have my regular schedule: Monday Raw, Wednesday Dynamite, Thursday SmackDown. I'll pick up Dan's show during the week, like I always do. And just gonna finish watching the G1, and that's gonna be it.
Rock and roll. Well, we're so happy for you, Sassy. You've brought us a lot of joy in this stream, so thank you so much. And thank you, everyone that's joined us and watched all 3.5 hours or not. We are going to end it now, and we will see you in the future. We'll do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a Hull Yeah!
Love you, Dan.
Am I the only one? Am I the only one?
Yes. You didn't tell us what you was doing. You just went.
I was trying to get it out the bloody way because I hate the gimmick. You know I hate the gimmick.
Hello, welcome, and give me a hell yeah. Give me a whole yeah. Give me a whole yeah. From the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. Cheers to everyone watching in Yorkshire and beyond. Hope you guys have a great day from the Spanish God. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Anthony. You guys are smart because you're fans of me. And anyways, have a great day.